so that your bike works again, so that your tire has pressure. It's got a hole in it right now. It's not containing things. Now, as a young boy, what's your logic of reality of the other anti? You've got lots of gas. It's in your bike pump. What are you going to do to that tire that's got a hole in it to make sure it can hold the pressure for you to pedal? You might use the analogy, it's a bit like us breathing. What would we need for us to breathe? You're a young boy with a bike pump and a hole in your tire. What are you going to do to that tire to make sure it'll hold the pressure?
I know. He could use gravity to hold the air around the rim.
I like it. A gravity plaster.
That's what I was going to say. I could make it heavy or dense enough so that it has gravity, and then I wouldn't need to patch it.
You see how pathetic you sound, or ill-informed you sound. I know it's slightly humorous, but we know what the answer is, don't we? And you know what the answer is. But when we put it into that childish analogy, the reality dawns on you, isn't it? Yeah, we can't stick a gravity. We can't put heavy air in so it always stays at the bottom of the tire, meaning I don't ruin my rim. Can't do that, can we? There's a hole in it, and we know how gas behaves, don't we?
We know how it behaves on Earth, but we don't know how it works on an astronomical level. I mean, we do know, but
so we don't know how it works in a place you've never been to. Well, I agree with that. Lovely. What's that relevance to? Well, this is a game that was mentioned by Gemsy to you earlier. He kept alluding to it. Reality, not your fictitious world that you'd love to be real, that you have to say that I don't need a container for gas pressure. That world that you live in, just stick with reality. The things you know, the things you learn as a young boy when you had a flat tire on your bike.
yeah, I can't stay with that. I mean, if we have stayed with that, then we wouldn't have discovered medicine or illnesses or
what? That makes no sense, does it? If you had recognised that you need containment for gas pressure, you've just claimed we'd have never discovered medicine. I think we had medicine before we had bikes. Particularly the pneumatic tyre was invented much later than medicine. Now you're spiralling, son. Just deal with the point at hand instead of waffling. Otherwise you'll embarrass yourself, won't you? Like you just did.
Nah, I just mean if I just stood with what I can observe and not look into like microscopical or how things work on a macrocosmic level or in a microcosmic level, then I mean I wouldn't know how reality works, how to program.
No. We're talking about you and your bike. You just claim that if you can fix a puncture on your bike without restoring the containment, and because you know you can do that, even though you're not described to us how, you know that that's proof that we wouldn't have had medicine, wouldn't have been invented. These are your words, not mine. I'm just putting them back to you. But let's bring it back to the bike. How do we get the gas pressure in the tire with the hole in so it's not contained? How do we make sure we can ride the bike again so that the tire pressure is greater than the air pressure surrounding it? What are we going to do to that tire with the hole in?
Okay, so you're saying that the tire works exactly the same on Earth than outside of Earth? So like if I were standing...
Doesn't? Are you saying it doesn't? Should we take the tire to space and have a look? Could we do that?
I think we can.
I think, well, let's go. Post it right now. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I don't need immediate observation.
Sign me up. I'm in too. I want to go with you guys too. Sign me up. Let me know. Send me the invite.
Okay, so if you can't like see like germs or a virus directly, you're denying that a virus exists just because you
No,
haven't seen.
no. Okay, you can see that your tire is flat. What are you going to do? You can see the big hole in it, and you've got this big rubber plastic that you could restore the containment. But you don't think that. What you got? How much gravity have you got to invoke so that you can take out your bike pump and restore the gas pressure in your tire without having to actually give it containment? Because this is what you're claiming. Now we can go to germs or viruses, which is really weird, considering we're talking about something as simple as a bike tire. Just answer the question. It's really weird, dude. It's a bike tire. It's not medicine. It's not science. It's just a bike tire. How do you fix it?
Yeah, but you're denying atmospheric pressure, so I mean,
It's
I
a
get
bike
your point.
tire.
I get your point, but
No, explain. If you get my point, explain it. Why, and then demonstrate why you won't answer it. It's a really simple question, but you're being weirdly obtuse and
but you're
strange in
assuming
your
that a tire
inability
works
to
the same as the
answer a
planet, dude.
simple question as to how you'd fix a puncture on a bike. I mean, you do live in reality, don't you? So not odd.
So you're telling me that a planet
I'm
works
not telling you
exactly the
anything.
same
I'm
as a
asking
tire?
you how you fix a puncture on a bike tire. I'm not telling you anything, son.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the rhetoric. I understand the rhetoric you're trying to point
How
out,
do
but
you
I don't
fix it
believe
then?
that the planet's
What are you going to do?
atmosphere works the same as a flat tire.
Well, if you
I don't.
And
understand
why
it,
is that?
please answer the basic question.
Okay, I would fucking patch the tire, right? Can we move on?
Oh, you restore the containment. Perfect. Yes, we
Fuck.
can move on now when you've realised that in the real world, if you want gas pressure, it requires containment, even when it's something as simple as a bike tyre. Now, I don't know why for a ball earther that took so long. I mean, how long did it take you as a 6-year-old to fix your tyre? Did you just pray to the gods of heliocentrism to say, make it work again? Or did you just concede that you need containment for gas pressure? What did you do as a 6-year-old? Waffle like this on the side of the road? Or just fix it?
I mean, I get your rhetoric, but I think it doesn't prove how a planetary atmosphere works.
No, it doesn't prove that at all. What it proves is that a baller struggles with a simple question that a 6-year-old would be very
I didn't struggle with
easily
the question.
able to answer. And look
I
at
didn't
how
struggle
long
with
have
the
we
question.
how long have we taken on this very simple analogy,
Dude,
which was
I
two
got what you're going
I
towards.
know, and
I
it's hurt you,
was
hasn't it?
trying
Because
to
it
move
must.
on. I
Have you
got your
got
rhetoric.
children?
I got what you were
Did,
saying.
I,
You didn't
I
understand
got
what I
what
was saying.
I got what you didn't want to deal with. It was quite funny, which is why we took so long.
I did answer your question, but I am saying, I mean, I understood
Eventually,
you answered it on like the planetary
what?
level, which is what you're talking about, and
Can I?
you're still trying to figure out if I know how to fix a fucking bike tire, which
No,
it's
no, 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 no. Don't. No need to swear. No need to swear. I know you're losing it. Can I ask you, from the
you were
psychology
telling
of
me I'm wrong,
a
so
Glover, why it took you so long to get to such a simple answer? What internal mechanisms
you
were you
didn't take me wrong
fighting that you couldn't just answer that? Just for your
because
psychology of your average ball earther, because genuinely, as any reasonable
wait,
person that was
so
in this
you're
debate
telling me.
would have listened to you and go, "What's wrong with this lad? He doesn't know how to fix a tire.
So wait, are we discussing about how to fix a
Why was it
tire?
so
Was that the
painful?"
point of your question, or was it a rhetorical question?
No,
Because if it
no,
was
no,
literal, I
eh,
mean, I don't see the
no,
point of discussing how to patch a
no,
tire.
no, not rhetorical at all. Let me put
Take
it
me
more
to
bluntly then.
literally answer how
Why
to fix.
why let me put it more bluntly then. Why did you demonstrate to everyone on Discord and YouTube the level of cognitive pain and discomfort to such a simple question when it was put to you?
Because it was a rhetorical question and it was supposed to discuss how air pressure works, not literally answer how to fix a fucking bike.
Are they not linked, those two things? And stop swearing, by the way. No need. And I know you triggered, but no need. And they're not linked, those two things.
Okay, so we patched the tire, and now the bike works. And so what?
How does the bike now work? What do we do to the tire that means it can now have a pressure different to its surrounding? What did we do? We restored what?
Atmospherical pressure that is caused by Earth's gravity.
No, nobody did that on the side of the road with a rubber plaster and a bike pump. Nobody's invoking gravity. They restored containment, allowing you to then use your bike pump to make a pressure differential. Now, if you didn't have the containment, as hard as you pumped, little boy, that gas would keep going out of the hole, wouldn't it? Following the laws of thermodynamics, specifically the second one with regards to entropy. Is that not correct?
No, it's not.
So the second law's incorrect, even though we followed it as a 6-year-old to fix our bike, so it worked again. We followed it, we restored containment, we put the pressure back into the tire so it was higher than the atmospheric pressure around it, and off we rode home to have sandwiches and tea with mummy. So all of that, we followed it. But in your world, we don't follow that, and we don't need to follow that.
Yeah, we do, but that doesn't apply to planetary levels.
Okay, show me that planetary level.
Okay, so you want
because I can demonstrate my point, can't I? Like a child with a bike and a tire. So now you're going to show it me. You're not going to preach like some religious nutter and say, "Look up to the sky. Look, it's a vacuum." Show it to me how gravity affects gas behavior.
Okay, so you assume that a 6-year-old that fixed a flat tire could explain cosmology entirely. It is that simple. The universe is that simple.
Wow. Is that what I said, anyone? Did I say that in any way, shape, or form?
Not at all.
No.
You asked him identifies as a 6-year-old. That'd be the only connection there. Dude, are you identifying as a 6-year-old right now? Was it Jumbo?
Yeah, actually.
You are?
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
I identify myself as a non.
Okay. Yeah, we can't have children in the call. Well, you can get unmuted when you identify as who you are.
Juanbo, I know we've been talking since the beginning. Juanbo, identify as your correct age, because if you break the terms of service of Discord, that might be like a bannable offense based on the terms of service. Hopefully you know that, Juanbo.
That was cruel, guys. Let him back off.
Juanbo, please, I don't know. We're enjoying talking to you. Many good topics are being brushed across, so Juanbo.
Okay, I'm obviously not 6-year-old. That was sarcasm, by the way.
I mean, there is 6-year-olds out there that actually know the Earth is not a globe in a vacuum of space. They actually get it. So,
All right.
what is your issue?
Look, man. I'm not here to change anyone's mind. So, if you don't want to believe in gravity that causes pressure,
you said the right words just there. You said the right thing there, Wombo. Is belief. We don't want to believe. You've got that 100% correct. No one here wants to believe. We want to know. We want you to put the data down that makes you know these things are true and correct. So can you do that for us?
Juanbo, don't forget that we change our minds. We also believe you are the one that haven't changed your mind. You're still holding a bias based on the set of data that you got since you were maybe a child that you didn't know better. So you're still holding to that belief that you never tested, check, cannot demonstrate at this moment. So you're the one not changing your mind based on new data that represents or acknowledges the realist level, reality. You're the one still thinking that the fantasy of the globe, nonsensical, impossibilities, amalgamation of fantastical, extraordinary ideas and claims, you think that supersedes reality, and you're the one that's having kind of like maybe change your mind if you want to. We're not here to change your mind, but the data, and you should be able to reach that level yourself if you are able to.
Okay, but I mean, it gets to a point where logic can't apply if you don't believe in gravity, if you don't believe that what we can observe of
obviously you missed the belief thing, bro. We don't want to believe in stuff. We want to know it. So you believing in gravity is just a formula. It's a mathematical equation to describe things going down at approximately 9.8 meters per second squared. I believe that. Check it out. Listen. Oh my God, my pen went down. Therefore, what caused it? Gravity. But gravity's the effect. So what's the cause? Gravity. Do you see the loop you're already caught in? And you didn't even have to speak. I can read your mind.
No, that's not the only thing that proves gravity. I mean, the way that the planets move in a circular
Well,
fashion,
that's a big claim. That is a spectacular claim. That's just a story.
But you can actually
So
see
how are you going to... Yeah, I can see a full rotation of what planet? You don't even know where the word planet comes from. Planetus, meaning wandering star.
If you are so curious and you want to know, why don't you just buy a telescope and look
I'm
into
not.
the sky?
You are. That's why you're here.
If you are the one that wants to know, why don't you debunk it yourself by looking at the planets?
We have debunked it. There's no curvature. It's as simple as measuring the ground. You seem to be of this opinion that this is a scientific endeavor. That is a failure, my friend. This is just a question of geometry. Go and measure for the curvature. If you don't find any, question the story. The story given is we're on a ball with a radius of 3,959 miles. If there's no curve, there's no ball. You've got to question that.
Look, if you want to know, you can know. You just got to buy a telescope.
That's what I'm telling you. You are the one who's believing. See the word again. Believe comes around. You don't know. You just believe.
But if you try to break down the globe...
There's no but. You are just a solid believer. I've got no problem with that. This is not an attack on believers. If you want to believe in fairy tales, go right ahead, my friend. You can add Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, unicorns. You can pile them all up. Good for you. That's great. At no stage have you presented any evidence that we can go out and measure for ourselves. Have you?
Have you looked up into how the moves?
Have you provided anything over the last 2 hours that we can go and test for ourselves? Some data, something that you can back up.
Yeah, I mean the relative position of the sun, whether you're northern or
the sun's
southern
over our head. That's great.
Nah.
The sun moves from the east to the west. That's great.
The angle, no, you didn't even get that. The angle that you can see the sun moving from south to west is a bit more to the north if you're standing in the South Pole. And if you're in the northern pole, it's
excellent. That's a claim. Have you been to the South Pole? And then to compare, have you been to the North Pole to validate this sentence you're about to finish off?
Yeah, dude, I looked at it I checked
it
out.
You've been to the South Pole? Yes or no?
Look, man, I looked at it from Google.
Answer the question, please. It's a very simple one. Have you been to the South Pole to verify your claim? Yes or no?
Bro, what I'm talking
No,
about.
I'm not your bro. It's a yes or no. It's a close-ended question. Why do you have so much trouble with this? Have you been to the South Pole to verify your claim of what the sun does? Yes or no?
You didn't hear me out. I'm not talking about the South Pole. I'm talking
yes or no, my friend. I don't need a whole sentence. I just need one word. Have you been to the South Pole to validate, verify, or prove your claim of the sun?
Yes, I have. I actually live on the southern pole of the earth, and I had been to the
You're a
northern
clown.
side.
That was not necessary. Why are you carrying on like a child? Why don't you just be honest?
Just point out to him that just like being a 6-year-old on this server, actually it's terms of service of Discord that you can't live on a falsely claimed non-verifiable continent.
I'm not talking about the South Pole. I'm talking about the pole, like relatively to the equator line. I have been on the south side and on the northern side, and I have checked out that the sun is a little bit like the angle is.
So you went to
different, okay?
Ecuador and stepped one side of the line to the other side. That's great. Did you see the little bowl with the spinning water? Where they pour the water in the wrong way on each side of the line to show you about the Coriolis effect?
What?
You've got no data. It's just hollow words at the moment. What are you going to present to us that backs up your claims?
Okay, look, I already told you, if you are so curious of knowing if the globe is round...
I didn't mention anything about my curiosity. I questioned your claims. All I want is some kind of video evidence, photographic evidence, citations from some kind of university, and you're not providing that. At the moment, it's just a cool story from you. So that makes me now a believer if I accept what you say. I don't want to be a believer. I want knowledge of this. How are you going to back this up with some kind of data?
I'm telling you, if you look at the movements of the planets, at the movements of the moons, it all points down to a natural force.
Why do they just go into reset mode?
Attracting them together. If you are so curious, if you really want to know, why haven't you bought a telescope yet? Because you are.
Why do I need a telescope to measure the ground?
Measure the ground. I mean, I have done.
Why?
That.
You keep telling me if I'm curious, go and buy a telescope. If I'm curious, go and buy a telescope. You've said that to me 3 times now. Why do I, Matrix, need to purchase a telescope to measure the ground? Please.
Okay, I have told you that there is an horizon, and you have already discredited me, saying that there is apparently an invisible wall. So there's no point in measuring. Wall. You're going to tell me there's an invisible wall.
I haven't mentioned anything about invisible walls. I'm questioning you because you keep telling me to purchase a telescope. Why do I need to purchase a telescope to measure the ground?
Have you measured gravity? Have you looked into how the planets move?
Why are you scattergunning? You told me I need to purchase a telescope. I'm asking you why the necessity for me to purchase a telescope to measure the ground.
Didn't you say you want to know the facts? Well, if you can't...
I want you to present data that backs up your hollow claims. At the moment, your data that backs up your hollow claims is advising poor old Matrix to go and buy a telescope. Now, I want to know how a telescope is going to assist me in measuring the ground.
Okay, it would be easier if I could buy a rocket for you and if you could just go into space and check out the size of the Earth. But since we can't do that, what can we do?
And rockets.
Way cheaper. A telescope is way cheaper than a space rocket, right? So we can buy the telescope, check out the space, and see how shit.
And how is this going to assist me in measuring the ground, my friend? Because that's where we live, on the ground. You don't live in space, last time I checked. So your claims of hopping in a rocket and doing all these things that no one's ever going to do are just, it's another cool story. You can see what you're doing at the moment is you're using a story to back up another story. We don't want that. We need to get out of this loop. You're trapped in a loop. Get yourself out of it.
It's not a story.
So, let's go back to the question again. You told me I need to buy a telescope. How is me purchasing a telescope going to help me measure the ground?
Okay, because then you can actually see the trajectory of the planet, see how they are being pulled by gravity.
Me staring up in the sky is going to prove what's underneath my feet.
Pulled by gravity makes planets move now? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Gravity does a lot of things for you guys, doesn't it?
Bambo,
What are-
you know, if
what are you
I bought a
up to?
telescope and looked at the stars or planets moving in the sky, and you've just again attributed that to gravity, you do realise that you're now a heretic in the ball earth religion. You would be cast out from Neil deGrasse Tyson's church. Because
Really? How
if I
so?
bought well, I'll tell you. If I bought a telescope and I looked up from the flat Earth, yeah, or on your ball Earth, and looked at the stars moving in the sky, what is the cause of the stars moving in the sky? Because last time I checked, by your rhetoric, the stars aren't moving, pal. It's
I mean, the stars,
you.
you could see them move, but it would take you a really long time.
So if I buy a telescope, I can look at something moving in the sky and know that I'm rotating, correct? And that they're not actually moving. I can confirm they're not moving, and then it's me moving by me measuring how much they're moving, correct?
You can see how they move
No,
relatively to you and how they move
let's
in space.
let's start again because I know
Oh,
you struggle with
you can
tires.
see how both.
So I buy a telescope. Are we good there? I bought the telescope. Are we cool? Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I set it up and I look through the telescope and I observe the stars and the planets moving across my field of view, correct? That's what we all do in, remember this word, we've mentioned it a number
Yeah,
of
not
times,
only
in
moving,
reality.
they change
No,
position. You can see them changing position.
there's no need to ejaculate before my sentence is finished. Let's just confirm the point. So I bought the telescope and now I'm looking through the telescope, observing the luminaries move in my field of view. That's what we do with telescopes, isn't it? It's how they work. Yeah?
Hmm.
Yeah. Right. Brilliant. So now you're telling me that me watching the lights, the luminaries in the sky move proves to me that I'm spinning and they're stationary because I know 11 on the ball. That's what you've just told me. If I buy a
You can,
telescope
well,
and watch these things move, it will confirm to me that it's actually me moving and not them because I've just bought a telescope. Yeah?
well, actually, you can see the stars rotating from your position and the planets changing their position in
So
the
what?
stellar
Yeah, so you're
space.
saying the sky's moving. Great. What's making the sky move?
The Earth rotating.
No, you said the things are moving. You just said you can watch them go across the sky in different positions.
Yeah, because I mean the stars don't move position, but you can see the planets changing their relative position from Earth. So how do you explain that? That they
I
are
don't have to explain it because that doesn't make
okay.
the Earth
So
turn into a ball or flat by looking at the sky. You have to measure the ground to do that.
measure the ground. What do you mean by measuring the ground?
Wow, now you finally heard somebody tell you that you have to measure the ground to determine if it's a ball or not. You can't look at the sky to determine if what you're standing on is a ball or not.
Okay, but you're denying the horizon. So what's the point of measuring the ground if you're telling me that's just an invisible wall or whatever?
Excuse me, we're not denying the horizon. You did earlier when you were shown the black swan. The horizon is quite clearly beyond the oil rigs. You denied that, not us.
Okay, but I don't believe it's further than it should be.
Well, that's your beliefs again, son. It's quite evident there. It's in the video. If you don't like it, go and watch it again. It is where it is. It hasn't been modified or manipulated. That's where it's filmed as being. It is beyond those oil rigs. Then we use Google Maps to confirm where the video was taken from in comparison to where the oil rigs are. We get the given distances, and then we go and look at an Earth curve calculator to see where the horizon should be. And we realise the horizon is well and truly beyond the geometric claim.
Okay, but have you checked for a fact that that was the same oil rig that he was taping? Or, like, have you...
Yes, they have checked it multiple times.
Or have you taken it for a fact because it confirms your bias?
No,
So
I've checked it, confirmed it, and I've published it in my book. It's out there now. It is a fact. It's cited, it's provable, it's supported. So deal with the issue. Don't try and deal with its provenance as if it's false in some way. Either call us liars, which I think you tried to do this earlier. We are not being disingenuous. You are more than welcome to go and check for yourself all of the facts that you're struggling to cope with right now. Yeah, but they are correct. Now, if you were to be a genuine person with us, you would assume they are. Now explain them. And this is not just one photo that doesn't fit. Yeah, there are multiple observations from all across the world. Yeah, all demonstrating this point. And that's the point. It's not out. I think you missed the point earlier, and I'd love just to have you confirm it. What is the horizon, pal, to you? Is it a point of optical dissolution where you can no longer see and therefore no longer resolve? Or is it the leading edge of your sphere, which means it's a hill in the way, something that actually physically obstructs your observation? Which is it to you as a baller?
I mean, I can see planes disappearing in the horizon, so I'm not assuming they're crashing on the ground. They are just going beyond the horizon.
And what is beyond the horizon? What is the horizon? Is it a point of optical dissolution, or is it an actual hill in the way, the leading edge of the sphere that you believe you live on? Which is it?
Well, if I can see the plane disappearing over it, then it's physical.
Lovely. Therefore, it's confined by the geometrics of the sphere that you're supposedly traversing, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go back to the black swan.
Somebody
will pick it up, I'm sure. But this is what you need to go back to. This the reality and the formula I heard you agree to earlier, okay, which is the limitations of the ball as you ascribed to them, not us. You're left with one conclusion, that the horizon cannot be the leading edge of the ball, because if it was, the resultant radius, if we know that the two oil rigs are at 6 miles and 9 miles, and we can see that the horizon sits above in our field of view of both of the plinths and the sea level in the image, we can estimate that it's at least at 10 miles and definitely really more. But if we just assume that horizon is the leading edge of a ball taken from an image at 1 foot observer height, and we can ascribe that to it, then it means the new radius value is not 3,959 miles, as you proclaim it to be, but it would have to mean that it was at least 250,000 miles. Now, you agreed to the geometric limitations, so you now have to agree that the ball you now think you live on, if the horizon is the leading edge of a ball, means your new radius value is 250,000 miles. Do you agree with the mathematics?
Wait, by calculating how much it takes a plane to disappear?
No, by invoking the horizon as the leading edge of a spherical Earth. Were you not listening?
I mean,
Right.
I have to take.
Come on,
I
son.
have to take for
If you're not
granted.
keeping up, look, if you're not keeping up, it's fine. Don't throw out a silly back to aeroplanes when we weren't there. If you're not keeping up, just ask for an honest explanation of the bit you didn't understand, and I'll help you. But there's no need to be smart to try and get the answer. Just ask honestly.
Wait, I'm sorry. I was looking at the video someone sent.
Yeah, you asked to do that about 2 hours ago. Have you still not done it? And you decided to do that in the middle of my eloquent explanation. Is there a reason you're claiming you're now looking at the video? Which bit didn't you understand? And I'll help you.
I mean, I have to take for granted that that's actually the oil rig that you're pointing me out to, which I don't know.
Is there a
I don't really
reason? Is there a reason that you would think that that's fake and that we're lying and that as diligent people haven't checked that out? Is there a reason that you mind won't let you get past the point that it has to be fake? It has to see in your mind it has to be, doesn't it? It can't possibly be true because then the horizon can't be the leading edge of a ball, can it? Because if that picture's true, it can't be, can it?
it's the I have seen people lie, so it makes more sense, or it's more
No, no,
possible that.
I understand. Okay, let's assume the image is false, and that's why you're having this cognition issue. And the
I don't
reason
think
you've got this no, you've clearly got one, but let's just explore it. Yeah, clearly, the reason you're having the issue is if the horizon is the leading edge of the ball, and that image is taken from the observer height above sea level that it's claimed to be, then you've got a really big problem, haven't you? As outlined in the mathematics that I just described, in terms of your radial value change from 3959 to 250,000. You understand the implications that if that image is genuine and the horizon, as you claim, is the leading edge of a ball, it's getting tricky mathematically, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not questioning that the image is fake. I'm just saying that maybe it's not the same oil rig that they're pointing out that is that far away.
Well, there's two of Santa
Matthew Learns
Barbara.
already went there and repeated it, so it's been done by a Glober, got the same results.
Dude, this image has been out in the flat Earth community since 2020. The birth of the black swan was New Year's Day 2020. I was there with that little signet. Okay, so it's had plenty of time to be debunked, disproven. Okay, so genuinely, you can't keep falling your apologetics back to, well, that can't be right, because that is actually addressing the point I'm making to you. What if it is right? What if those measurements are right? What if what you're looking at is real? The implications are not for me, because I live on a flat earth, dude. The implications for you, you have to realize the horizon is not the leading edge of a ball, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that would be very trippy.
Absolutely, fundamentally devastating to your globe-tard religion. It would destroy it. Because remember, ships disappear over the horizon, don't they? All these things. If suddenly that was demonstrated to you, that value was wholly incorrect, all we have to do is change it and your whole paradigm is ruined. But if we can demonstrate, as is being done, the ludicrousness to claim that the horizon is the leading edge of a ball and to demonstrate the mathematical implications from 3959 to just that simple image, which doesn't show that bigger distance in reality, but it does demonstrate what happens as balls get bigger. And to have a ball, the leading average of ball, over 10 miles away from a 1 foot observer height means the radial value has to be bigger than the distance from the center of your ball Earth to the center of your moon, 250,000 miles away. An impossible distance that we don't experience. Nobody's experienced unless you went on Artemis, of course.
Okay, so what if the Earth is just bigger than we think?
Then every bit of your mathematics, Einstein, every equation you ever had falls apart. You're screwed. Checkmate.
Then
You're done.
you're gonna
Take
have to
it.
call NASA and tell them all of the pictures or images from space are wrong because they gave you a ball in the imagery that is of a specific size. So
Well,
if you're saying it's bigger,
rockets
if you
don't work, then yeah, you can't fly Artemis around either.
if you're saying it's a bigger ball, then everything as I have told you is wrong. All of it, the whole thing. Still, if the Earth was a ball, you would be able to measure the curvature somewhere, somehow. And it's not there, though. It's just not there. And remember, the globe wouldn't be a globe or a ball. It will be a magic ball of impossibilities. Because the chronology of events that will have to happen, all the variables that will have to take into effect to be able to make it that ball, you will have to replace reality and change everything. Physics. You have to change water, how the behavior of water, the behavior of balls, because we know balls don't behave like that magic ball. Holding water on the surface, spinning in a vacuum, the gas pressure on the outside of the ball instead of the inside. This is a magic ball that you are trying to defend. It's not a ball that nobody can demonstrate in reality.
I saw someone that said that, they sent a meme that's saying that gravity makes things stick, but sometimes it makes it orbit. That's because they're actually, that's because of the velocity to which they are moving.
No,
They're actually,
gravity makes the Earth flat. So gravity pulls everything down, right? So down's a flat Earth direction. So if everything falls down, gravity makes the Earth flat. So that's a flat Earth thing now. Gravity is no longer globers are no longer allowed to use that. Congratulations.
what I mean by that is, the moon is actually falling towards the Earth, but it's
No, it's
moving.
not yet falling down then. So you're calling the Earth flat.
It's claimed to be getting 6 inches further away from Earth every year.
Here, I got a question for Juan here. From the sun's point of view, what is the moon doing?
From the sun's point of view,
Yeah. You said from
it's
the
moving.
Earth's point of view, the moon is revolving around the Earth. How about from the sun's
Yeah.
point of view? What is the moon doing?
It's moving around the Earth.
Yeah, look that up. This is Google. You can Google this. So now this is the best part. Is like now when you Google this, you'll be like, why is Google lying to you? Or why did you not understand this?
Before we, Wambo, it's been really fun engaging with you. Gentlemen, I'm off for this evening. I just want to give my book a shout out if I could. That's Welcome to Flat Earth. All of these arguments eloquently laid out for you to absolutely destroy a baller. I've used one citation tonight, which we really shouldn't have had to move past because he invoked gravity as a container, and I think we eloquently proved it's not and never has been claimed, and is actually contrary to every single gas law. All that's there at the touch of either a Kindle book or a purchase and flick of a paperback. Eloquently laid out. I'd appreciate, even if you don't want to buy it, maybe share it, encourage people, and certainly encourage Wambo here. You could have a really good education, son. Sit, read it. It even takes you through the Black Swan.
I thought, isn't it Betty's book? I thought Betty wrote that book.
No, I wrote the book. I used QE's knowledge and my knowledge, and we structured it after a shitty terrible time where somebody was disingenuous and not respectful of the contribution of people. And then Betty graciously agreed that it was a very nice way because, like myself and QE, Betty's been here for a very, very long time. A lady that achieved a lot and probably got very little recognition and would have gone out quietly. But we asked her if we could write it around her, and she graciously agreed. And I'm so glad she did, because it took a lot of the macho bullshit that exists in these arenas and allowed us to present it from her viewpoint, and also, like I say, pay respect to somebody that set up places for all of these guys to initially chat before all the new servers appeared. So it's funny how God works, but it's not been a bad journey. But maybe buy the book, Wambo, eh?
Hey, what's the book called?
It's called Welcome to Flat Earth.
Oh, you can't
Right.
use that. I say that. That's my phrase.
As Chocolate's phrase, as is described and ascribed to him. Back in the days of Flat Earth debate, I remember when Chocolate did it. Yeah, he dropped it. Snacks in the back, bathrooms on the left. DJ's taking requests, smoke them if you got them. Yeah, that was Chocolate saying.
Okay, look, I'm actually gonna look into Flat Earth and I'll be back.
You have to
Cheers,
go buy
Arnold.
that book then, because then that means, since there's a book, that means Flat Earth is real now. So you guys have to be Flat Earthers.
Doesn't
No,
mean you
man,
have to be. But if you're looking for proof, as Matrix alluded to earlier, when Wambo kept telling us what he believed, if you're actually looking for proof and evidence to come to your own informed decision, this book is like with QE, me, Betty, Brian. Flatsy was a bit of a newbie, but the accumulated hard slog and efforts of many of which I've heard very well elucidated calmly and patiently to people who struggle to grasp simple concepts like tire pressure. Yeah, they're all in there, but they're all supported with proper citation. Yeah, of academic level. So, books out there, give it a shout. We're doing really well. I'm already at 64 copies sold, which has blown my mind. But maybe it's of use, hopefully, to the young man, but maybe for you guys as well. It will easily enable you to destroy ballers with quick reference instead of Google search, because the book was built for us and for our arguments of, as I've heard tonight. And I'll end there and thank you for humouring me.
Thank you, Adam. Take care.
God bless, guys. Have a good day.
There, Bo, did you Google that? What'd you come up with?
Wait. So now that I think about it, if there's a dark side of the moon, then that means that it's static in comparison to the sun.
As a matter of fact, it's all dark.
Okay, so I don't know, man. I mean, I actually believe that the moon is an artificial satellite of Earth.
Okay, yeah, you're okay. Just look at the citation I put in there. From the sun's point of view, the moon does not orbit the Earth in a spiral. Instead, the moon's primary orbits the sun in a nearly circular path, wiggling back and forth across Earth's orbit about 12 to 13 times a year. From a heliocentric frame, the gravitational of the pull of the sun on the moon is actually stronger than the Earth's pull, making the moon perpetual aided companion of the Earth rather than a simple orbiting satellite. So what you're looking at here is where you value your point of view. So if you're going to value your point of view as an individual, and you look at the Earth appears flat. If you're going to look from the Earth's point of view, the solar system appears flat. If you look from the sun's point of view, the galaxy appears flat. If you look from the galactic point of view, the whole universe is flat. So where do you put your value on observation? When you go to make an observation, where's that at? And then do you go up one or do you go down one? You could do it the same thing, like, you know, that whole ant on the ball. From the ant's point of view, the basketball is flat. From a basketball's point of view, the court, the basketball court is flat. Each time you go up one, it's flat. Check or hold. Are you tracking that or not?
Not really.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you start conducting science, you want to make an observation. Check or hold.
Yeah.
Okay. Where does that observation come from? Your eyeballs or some imaginary point of view that you can't get to?
Okay, so first you have to make an observation and then make a theory that can replicate.
What you're seeing. I'm seeing this happen. What could be the possible causes of that? Then you have your controlled variable and you have your independent variables. And you can switch those out slowly, systematically, replacing each one to get the result you're looking for. Or not the result, the null hypothesis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what controlled or independent variables are, so.
Okay, that's what you were looking at, the effect of what you're looking at. Your cause, that's your cause.
All right.
And that way you could have more than one cause at the same time. And there could also be, this is where you get interested in, you know, when you get really into science, there could be a cause that you don't even know that's changing the experimental setup. That's why you try to control for as many variables as possible.
All right.
You'll see this with like people with new medication might come out, and say the medications for fat people, and a certain percentage of the control group said, "Hey, my feet got swollen while taking the placebo," and a certain percentage of the experimental group also said, "My feet got swollen while taking the real medication." Fat people's feet swell. There's a term for it. I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. What that's called? It's like it's like where the fluid builds up in their leg. like something Lademia or something like that. I can't think of it. So that would tell you that, hey, if you're testing on this type of group of people, do you know for sure that this is a cause of that? Yeah, okay, it's called lymphedema. So then you could do a variable for that. Be like, here's a group of fat people, and here's their fat pill, and we'll have compression socks. Have them wear compression socks. Here's a group of fat people with a placebo. Wear compression socks. And here's a group of people who took the medicine without compression socks, and here's a group of people who took the placebo without compression socks. Do you see how it's supposed to work out? You're supposed to be able to do these things, like, you know, be involved with the process. It's not you just look up at the sky and be like, the moon is a ball, and then just say the Earth's a ball because of that.
I mean, it would be pretty weird if it wasn't, but I guess it's reasonable to question it.
Well, the
So,
way you'd have to question it inside the scientific framework is you'd have to make the same observation from every single variable. So here's what the moon would look like on the flat Earth. Here's what the moon would look like on a curved Earth. Here's what the moon would look like on a square Earth. Here's what the moon would look like on a 4-dimensional, 5th-dimensional Earth. You know, all those. You'd have to be able to demonstrate each one of those. This is why, like, about a year and a half ago, some young Earth creationists at Antarctica to do a final experiment. And they were going to compare their observation of the sun on the flat Earth versus on the globe Earth. But the problem was they used a globe Earth map called the AE projection rather than an actual flat Earth model. But they said it was a flat Earth model. They mislabeled a map that was built on the using the globe in mathematics. So it was a spurious causation. What they ended up doing was testing the globe as a 3-dimensional model versus a mathematics. And one of those two things didn't work, and they decided, unironically, that if it's not a globe, then all of math is wrong. All of it. Math is completely wrong. And then once they were shown the error in their experimental setup, they decided, well, math isn't wrong. Flat Earth is wrong. You're like, well, how? Walk me through that. They're like, certainly. So this AE projection is right if it's a globe. If you put a globe sticker on it, it's right. If you put a flat Earth sticker on it, it's wrong. Huh. It's like kind of those no label crowds. So if you put a young Earth creationist sticker on this experiment, it's right. Do you feel like things are starting to click a little more? We've got a couple speakers today kind of walk you through some stuff.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I would have to see a system for the flat Earth that could explain every phenomenon that we can observe.
Let's
And
explain stuff. That's all you need, someone to explain things to you.
Oh, I can
maybe
make up stories, dude. What do you want me to make up a story about?
how do you explain like solar eclipses?
Oh, that's easy. Is that it?
Yeah, but let's go with that one.
Oh, that's a giant, like unicorn's rear end blocking the sun.
Makes sense.
I mean, it makes as much sense as whatever you think it is. You can't just make up stuff and it be okay. And if I make it up, it sounds stupid because we're both making it up. But for some reason, you guys think yours sounds okay.
I mean, I'm not making it up. I'm just trying not to contradict observation that's been made.
You don't have any
through-
observation. You've never seen the moon move in front of the sun before.
Yeah, actually, I did. There was an eclipse like 2
No,
years
you
ago.
actually never did see that. No, you never did. I recorded it. I was out there the whole day. There was no moon to be seen.
There was one in my city like 2 years ago that was observable. So what you're saying that solar eclipse doesn't happen?
You don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's when the moon moves over the sun.
Well, how come the moon? How come you can't
Yeah,
see the moon?
but that's not what you see.
You don't see a moon though. You don't see any moon. You're just making that up.
What do you mean I'm making that up?
You don't see anything during a solar eclipse which identifies the moon's involved at all. Where do you see the moon during a solar eclipse? Where do you see it?
It's over the sun.
Say again. You're not coming through. I can't hear you.
When it's over the sun?
How do you know that's the moon?
So you're saying the moon is not observable during solar eclipses?
No, I'm saying you haven't identified the moon. You've just seen the sun start to block out, like its light start seemingly blocking out, or becoming, reducing, right? Like a black arc seems to start, reducing its light, and you're saying that's the moon. But how do you know? How do you know that's the moon? I mean, you don't see the moon, right? You could assume that the silhouette you're seeing in front of the moon, in front of the sun, if that's what's in fact even happening, like an object passing in front of it, and not the sun just, its light being extinguished in such a fashion that it appears like that, right? You could assume that it's the moon doing it, but you don't see the moon. You don't observe the moon. You don't observe it approach it, even, right? You don't see it leave. I mean, it could be the moon, but you've got to admit you don't see the moon, right?
Well,
You just
yeah,
see a
because
dark patch.
I mean, it correlates with the moon phases. So I would assume, like, the most possible thing that is like it's
The
on the
new moon
trajectory.
is actually no phase, right?
Yeah,
That's
which phase is the invisible moon phase?
The new moon.
yeah, that's when it's not visible at all. Like you don't see it. It's like completely gone from your view.
They should call that the not there moon phase. Not new. It's not that it's a new moon. It's a no moon. How about calling it no moon phase?
Well, you can see it
Yeah.
going over stuff. You can see it blocking other objects' light.
Like what?
Like stars.
When?
Or when it's night.
What does that have to do with eclipses?
Because they always happen during the new moon. Eclipses are actually very weird. Uh,
Then why'd you bring them up?
because I
Because you can't
mean,
explain them. Because you
at
can't
least the
explain them.
globe has an explanation for it.
No,
Even if,
notice how your explanation completely crumbled. So really, you don't have one. Notice how that works.
I mean, it is an explanation though,
And so was mine. Tell me how mine is not a unicorn getting in the way.
because I have never seen a unicorn on Earth, and I can't predict when it
I've
appears.
never seen a moon go in front of the sun. Have you?
Well, but I can see it getting darker through the phases until
And
it's
that's
completely.
because there's a unicorn in front of it. Debunk me if you can, if you dare.
I mean, if we're going to go there, then we can actually take anything for granted, because I don't want to look into it.
There you go. So whatever you come up with, whatever you make up, that must be the real thing then. Whatever you decide, whatever you make up.
Yeah, it's not what I make up, it's what direct observation,
What's that?
experimentation
No,
has
nobody's
been
ever
able.
seen that. No one's ever seen the moon go in front of the sun. You just lied again for like the 10th time.
No, but it's in the trajectory of the moon where it should be.
There's no moon to traject.
So you're saying the moon just stops existing?
Where do you see it?
Yeah, I can see it when it
You,
goes
so
over.
now you can see it during a new moon. You can see it. Okay, all right, that's cool. So take pictures of it next time.
I mean, I could take a picture of it going over a star.
Go ahead.
Okay, but if why would I take an alternative for granted if it's even more
You said
remotely?
you needed explanations for things. You needed sky explanations for why the ground isn't curving or why it's flat or why it's not a ball or something. You said somehow you related things in the sky like the moon equals the earth is curving. Somehow you put those two together. I don't know how you guys do that.
I mean, it's the how do you say? I just take what's more likely.
More
Why wouldn't I?
likely, so floating balls is more likely than no explanation at all.
Yeah,
Floating
yeah.
rock balls, rocks floating above your head. when you can't float, but rocks can float, that is more likely what's happening versus I don't know.
I mean, it seems to me that an Earth rotating is more likely of an explanation
Whoa.
than.
Where did you get now? Why are you starting with the Earth rotating part? You're adding more shit to it.
Well, because that's how the moon moves, right?
I thought the moon rotated around the Earth. Now you're telling me the Earth, because the moon just
It
sits there
does,
and the Earth spins?
it does, but very slowly,
How do you
which is a
know?
different. It's how do you know it's not?
Because we're stationary.
How do you know that?
Because you don't feel yourself moving.
You see, I can do that the same. Well, how do you know relativity is fake then? We can do it both ways.
How do I know it's fake? Because you can't prove it's real.
Well, we can do it both ways. How can you prove the Earth is flat then?
Because it's measured flat. Airplanes land on it. Airplanes can't land on a ball that's spinning. It's impossible. The airplanes will crash.
Not if you take relativity into account.
Oh, now you just said that was fake. Now it's real again? Which is it? Real or fake?
I mean, that's why I mean, if we could invite Einstein into the call, and he could probably explain it better than me. But I
No,
just
Einstein's IQ is about 85.
okay. How do you know that?
Because he walked around sticking his tongue out. He never brushed his hair, and he wore women's shoes. Why? What else gives it away?
He married his cousin.
Oh, that too.
So the theory of relativity is like even your marriage is relative.
Okay, that's funny.
That's all true, though. Everything we said is true. So that's who you look up to. That's your idol. You idolize him. The guy who sticks his tongue out, can't keep his tongue in his mouth, never combs his hair, just sticks straight up. Probably has bugs in it and shit. Never combs it, never washes it. Then you think that that's a good look and that's a smart person right there.
I mean, maybe he's a weirdo, but it's still the most likely explanation.
No, it's not. Mine is the most likely because I've seen a horse before, and unicorns are similar to horses, and we know what horses look like. And if you stand behind a horse and make some shade, it'll block the sun. You can't move
Yeah,
the moon, or you can't move the moon around and make it block the sun. I can move a horse around. So which really is more realistic, has more of a probability, mine or yours?
okay, so you're saying that you can explain everything just by what you observe. So you can explain the
I
nature
can
of
explain
the universe.
everything that you guys make up stories for the same exact way. I can make up stories for it too. I can
And
make up stories the same exact way you make up stories for everything.
yeah, I can make my own stories as well. You make your stories, he makes his stories, I can make my stories, and yeah, we all make stories. I mean, if your story is explanation, I can make an explanation that makes sense in my mind internally, in my imaginatory nonsensical ideas of whatever that is, just like you're doing. He can do it too.
Are you guys atheist, or do you believe in God?
No, I'm an atheist. I believe in atheists.
Yeah, I don't think
But
atheists exist because atheists believe in a god called, gravity. They think like
I
you.
don't think there's ghosts floating around. No.
You say gravity explains everything. Gravity contains gases. The Earth is
He said
curving.
Well, sounds like a
no.
god to me.
He also said gravity is the reason why balls go around other balls in a vacuum. So it really does a lot of things. pushes things
Okay.
around, pulls things, and pushes them at the exact same time. That's a mind blower.
Yeah, that's like a deity
But
believer. Gravity is the
you don't
deity
believe God,
of
right?
the globe.
Because then you can't see God standing, like walking around the block of your house. So
Yeah, you
God is
can't
not
see gravity either.
okay. But then, by the same logic, God doesn't exist, right? I hope that you believe that, because
Well,
then
you can
you're
believe in God, and you can believe. Well, some people argue there is a way to prove God, right? But you can believe in God. You can believe in gravity if you want, as long as you
The diff-
acknowledge
the,
that it's
the
just a
different
belief.
The difference is that you can acknowledge when you see a watch, right, a design mechanism, you can know that that mechanism requires that the watchmaker designs all of the pieces and also puts all of the pieces together in a specific manner, so it will causes the clock to tick. So you can acknowledge that, just like the world, just like your body, just like all the design things in the world, you can see a fingerprint of the creator. Now, people's gonna say, oh, the creator thinks like this, and the creator looks like that, and that's where the religions come in, right? The man-made doctrines. But superseding that is the acknowledgement that a designer is required for a design. A watchmaker is required for a clock, and just like a coder is designed for a code. So you can see the design is an antecedent. The designer is the antecedent to this whole design. The architect is an antecedent to the whole construct. But then that has nothing to do with religion, though.
oh, but I haven't seen any God like creating anyone directly. So I don't know. I that could be a made up story.
Oh, you've been saying you
Oh,
don't know, but
so
yeah,
we
you've
could
been
just
saying
show you a guy who makes terrariums that are sealed up and they just live on their own, all inside their own little tiny sealed up universe. They live for probably forever. Um, and some guy made that, so he would be a creator, wouldn't he? You've never seen people create things before?
yeah. He see
Yeah,
this
but
guy. You
by
probably
that
see a
technique, have
BMW, and
seen
you're
one
like, yeah.
thing.
I don't believe that BMW machinery requires a designer, huh? Is that your
Okay,
argument?
I have seen people create stuff, but I have also
Oh,
seen
there you
round
go.
planets. I have seen like planets being orbiting.
No,
So
you
And have
haven't.
you?
You've never seen a planet orbit anything before.
That's true. Yeah, you never ever in your life, no man has ever seen a planet orbiting anything. No man has ever seen that.
It's just a story you made up when you look up there and go, look, that's orbiting something. Because
You've
it's
never seen
because
that.
it's because it's there again. There it is again. See, it must be orbiting something because there it is again. It's still there, so it must be orbiting something. There it is again. Look, kids, there's Big Ben.
okay, so if A precedes B, and you're denying that planets can be observed orbiting the sun,
If the
then
hands of the
No,
clock,
you've
why are
never
you
seen a planet
arguing?
orbit any sun.
Yes, I have.
No, you
that's a
haven't.
lie.
You're lying.
Nobody has.
Amateur astrologist with the telescope has.
Nope, you're a liar.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
And how can they predict and where planets are going to be?
That's not a prediction. That's a postdiction.
Post-diction.
Because they do the
It's a
same shit year after year.
yeah.
Every
It's a
year they do
movement.
the same shit. So they say, oh, this year, so add 0.0001 to this number, and that'll be the new number. And then they do that and they just go, because it's the same number. And they just go, oh, it changes this. It changes 4 decimal places every year. So they figure that out because they've been watching it the whole time, year after year.
Postdiction, not a prediction. It's like you're looking at a clock of the sky, a clock that requires a watchmaker, right? And you've seen it moving. You see the hand. You observe the hands at the noon at 12 noon, and then you say, Oh, it's at noon, right? And then tomorrow you see it at noon again, and the day after, and the day after, and the year after, you see it taking certain positions, and then it repeats again and again and again like a clock. And then the next year is doing the same thing again, and then I'm gonna predict the next year is gonna do the same thing, and it does the same thing, but that's not a prediction. It's a repeating cycle. Like when you see the hands of the clock at 12 noon, and in 12 hours you're gonna see it at 12 again. That's not a prediction. Juan, you think you're predicting when the hands of the clock are gonna hit noon? Is that you predicting something?
Logically, yes.
You still haven't established any logical
That's
arguments
not
yet.
logically. It's not logically. Yes.
I mean, I can't predict that, but it's just too obvious to call it a prediction because it always happens. But
There you go. It's
Oh,
a
it's not a
post-diction.
prediction. There you go. Hey.
Post-diction, not a prediction.
okay, so that just proves that there's a pattern to the movement of planets, and the most likely explanation is that they are orbiting around the sun.
No, the most
It's not.
likely explanation is that everything was created because, like, a cake doesn't bake itself, and cars don't make themselves, and
Watches, Swiss watches, and Rolexes
oh yeah,
don't.
watches don't put. Like, if I took some dynamite and I blew up my computer, just blew it up. Do you think if I did that enough times, it would? And I took all those parts and I kept just blowing up those parts over and over again. Eventually, it would just blow itself back together again. Or do you think that somebody has to create that thing?
I actually believe in God. I just don't underestimate it like you do.
No, I don't believe in it. I don't believe there's a magical floating guy that's watching me and watching you and it's got a big list like Santa Claus. I'm not into that. There is a creator. This place is absolutely created. 100%.
Okay, that we can agree on, but
It's kind of funny that you say that you believe in a creator, but you designed your God-given senses, or the design of your body that was designed to operate in this reality, and you deny it.
If I may add, for the people listening and the people at home, we're not here to destroy each other as well.
Yeah.
I'm willing to study the flat Earth further and see if it makes more sense to me that like the globe theory. But so far, it seems to me the most likely explanation and the most congruent one. So I don't know. I'm living with that.
So you're a believer, even you couldn't prove it even if you tried, right? You're a believer. You couldn't prove it even if you tried. You're just a believer, follower.
Well, you're also a believer of the flat Earth.
Mm-mm. You're missing the point, though. Flat Earth is not a belief in something. It's an acknowledgement and a description. It's a description of the state of the world, a surface, an orientation. It's not. It has nothing to do with belief.
Yeah, but that's just by direct observation. You haven't actually gone through the astronomical implications of that. And
Astronomical is not the ground you're standing on.
you're still
Astros,
you're still using magical explanations to like
what,
explain
for
how
water? For water? You think water is
for,
a magic thing?
for eclipses, for like the
That's not the ground you're
astronomical.
standing on. That's not the... Listen,
But it's
buddy.
true.
Listen, nobody's making
But
claims about the mechanisms of the heavens above.
so
No
they're
one
just
in here, no one is here is making claims that we know how the sky works. That's you. You're the one making the magical claims. I mean, you're just parroting that you think you know. But in here,
but
you know,
your paradigm of the
listen, there is
movement.
things that we know, there is stuff that we do know. We do know that the earth is not curving. We do know that the earth is not in motion because there's no detectable motion. But there's other stuff that we can acknowledge that we don't know, like what is the cause of the effect that we observe as the movement of the sun, the movement of the stars. We don't know the mechanisms. We just observe that they move in cycles. Like we cannot open the heavens above and check the gears of the sky and tell you, yep, this is how it works. You're the one making those claims that you believe that you know how that works, but it's complete nonsense because no man has first-hand knowledge of that, the handiwork of God. You cannot go check that. Nobody's making claims about the mechanisms of the sky.
Well, but the amateur astronomers can check that. So, uh, yeah,
They can
it's
make
just
stories. Yeah, men can make stories. Yes, correct. People can make stories, but they cannot demonstrate.
okay. So we don't know anything about how the sky works, and it's just there cyclically going on, and we don't know anything about that. We just
We
know
do
the
know
Earth.
we do know
That's
some
true.
things.
That's correct.
We look at the Earth.
No, he's incorrect. We do know that it's
Flat,
moving in cycles. We know that.
flat,
It's moving in
so it must.
cycles. We know that.
We know the sun will come out tomorrow.
Yeah, I know the sun is gonna come out tomorrow. I know that. Good
Yeah,
one.
but why? We don't know why.
But
It just happened.
why? Okay, if you wanna know why, and since you are a creator believer, get on your knees, pray to God for revelation. Maybe He'll answer. Maybe He'll tell you. You never know. Remember,
Yeah,
you're a believer. Just get on your
yeah.
knees and pray.
I believe the Earth is flat because that's what I see and that's what I experience, and I don't buy into relativity because I don't understand it, and I don't know. I look at the sky and it just, I don't know, it's just there going
I
on.
look at the sky and it has nothing to do with the ground. That's what you got to say to yourself, remember?
It's not. It's got nothing to do with
Mixing
it.
up two things. You're mixing up things that are separate. The ground that we can measure, check, verify, operate across, build upon, experience. That's not the sky. You look.
Okay,
The ground is below your feet. The heavens above your head, and you cannot reach that place. You don't know what that is exactly. The
the sky's
ground
got nothing to
we
do with it.
experience.
It's got nothing to do with it. It operates on a different level that
Yes,
explains so
different level.
much.
Yeah, it's above. The ground is below. The level below and the level above. Yeah, exactly.
So God just made like a ground and the sky that works completely different and it's got nothing to do with it, just to fuck with us.
Oh, that's just you saying that stuff. Maybe
Well,
I don't know, man.
how does that fuck with you,
Speculating.
dude? How does that fuck with you? Because you want
Because
to
it
be,
makes me
you
believe
think you
that
should be floating or something? You're another globe
because
floater, aren't you?
that is clearly trolling us, because he's just, I mean, if you look it from the side of Earth, things are orbiting around each other, but that's just fake. So God is
You've
like a
never
If you
seen the
look,
side of Earth. You've never seen
you
the
never
side of
seen to
Earth.
that
Why do you say
perspective.
that shit?
Yeah, you never seen that. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, he's. Look, guys, I gotta go, but
Yeah, you
I
tried.
yeah, I really tried though.
Wah, wah,
No, I don't
wah,
think you've tried.
wah.
You just holding your biases is pretty obvious.
I'm not biased. I'm willing to look into flat Earth and see it makes more sense to me. But I mean, clearly you guys.
No, you're actually claiming that nonsense makes sense and that your senses are nonsense. That your position is contrary to reality. And I mean, that's your belief and you can hold that belief. It's okay. Nonsense makes sense for you. It's okay. Fantasy makes sense. The magic ball that no man can demonstrate or show or verify, that nonsense makes sense to you. And yeah, that's you. You can be a believer. It's fine.
My question is, given south is away from north, where is the South Pole, or is it just like a ring around your vision of what you think the Earth might look like?
Which South Pole out of the 5 claimed South Poles, which one are you talking about? The geographical, the magnetic, the geomagnetic, celestial south? Which one are you
Magnetic.
asking about?
Well, there is
Mag-
no well, you can't look. There's no compasses that point to the South Pole. So how are you going to find that one?
Yeah, they point away from north, right?
I don't know. Why don't you? You should probably get your equipment. What you should probably do is get, if you can afford Excel, install Excel, make a spreadsheet, and figure out how much all that stuff costs and do it. Find south pointing compasses and everything.
Well,
Something though, you gotta know something though. That magnetic fields work on flat surfaces.
sure, yeah. I mean, we're bootstrapping the flat Earth. If you go to the North Pole and you walk around it, the compass would spin in a circle, right?
Right? Maybe
Mhm.
left, right and left. No,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like if
guess
you just
so.
walk around, if you walked around the
maybe
pole
right,
itself,
maybe
the compass
left.
would be spinning as well, right?
The compass will be spinning. I don't know. Have you been there? The compass
Yeah.
spinning? Have you been there?
So any way you walk away from it will be south. Is what I'm getting at.
Then how do you navigate?
Well, like let's say you just walk away from it, you're walking due south, but any way you walk away from it is south. So if you
Okay.
maximize that,
When you go there, when you go to a place, you go to that place. When you go there, you go there. And the magnetic north on the ground is not an actual position. That position changes to there, from over there, from there, and it changes. It's not a specific spot. Don't you know that, Debate Daddy?
yeah.
Okay, so you know you don't go to the North Pole. That's not like a place that you go to. You go to a place where the phenomena and the readings are being detected, and then next year it's a different spot.
So let's say that, because yeah, on a day-to-day basis, the North Pole will shift. But let's say you are just walking in like 100-mile circle around that, and anywhere you walk, your compass is going to be spinning around as you walk the perimeter of it. Right. So anyway, you walk away from the
Is that
North
what
Pole is
you
south, right?
experience?
Now, if we
That claim that you made,
if
is that you
you
experience
don't
that?
think a compass points north, are you not willing to grant that for the
No,
sake of
you're saying
progress
that
in
the
the
compass
conversation?
spins. You're saying that the compass spins. Is that what you're claiming that you have
It points
experienced?
it points towards north. So if you walk in a circle around the North Pole, the compass is going to spin.
So who's proven that?
Spins.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
You don't even think a
we
compass
need you.
points
We
north,
need you
sir?
in here when people don't understand the east and west are circles. That's when we need you to explain to your fellow Globers that they're just morons.
Yeah, it would be a circle. Yeah.
Okay, so going in a circle.
Yeah.
Got
But if
it.
we extrapolate if we extrapolate, the south would just be whatever perimeter the shape is. That would be the
No,
the South Pole.
Why can't it be
Yep.
its own central point?
How do you
For
know there's
example.
not 20 north and 60 south?
Yeah.
How do you know there's
And we're
not
just
20
restricted to
north
two of them.
and 60 south?
It can't be a central point.
How do you know
Why?
what I'm saying isn't true?
Of its own, if it's independently of its own. Another one, the second one. How do you know that?
Because on a
You think it is one? You think it's one? Why can't flat earthers have one? Have that too?
Because on a globe, it coalesces into one point. Yours doesn't. Yours just keeps
It could
spreading
do
out.
that on a flat earth, and as soon as you get south.
He's just a baseless assertion into one point. What does that even mean? Into one point?
You say that the longitude lines converge.
Correct.
Okay, no,
But
the
yours spread-
longitude,
yours
the
keeps-
geographical north is not magnetic north, dude. The longitude lines converge into a geographical position of a grid or a map. That's not the terrain.
And they're not
that's
even
not,
close.
And that's not magnetic north.
And they're not even close to lining up.
He thinks that
given
magnetic
that
north is
the
a geographical location.
Well, given that the longitudinal lines just keep spreading out on a flat Earth,
Magnetic north is not
there
a
would be no
is
south
not a geographical
pole.
location.
There might be a southern ring or whatever the shape is. It's that shape. It's not a point.
I mean, at this point, just believe whatever you want, bro. I mean, what are we gonna do? You just gotta believe whatever.
How is it even logically possible that it's that is one point?
That's
I'm not
you
even
arguing
convinced that's
that.
logically possible.
You're the one who said there's only one point, not us.
A point a point is like I grab a pen and I just press a little point. Where have you seen that in about the North Pole or magnetic north?
Yes, after accounting for it drifting daily, right? Yeah, after accounting for that.
A point? That's what the magnetic north is. A point.
Pole. Yes.
What pole? What are you talking about? Pole? What is that?
Okay. You're just playing dumb. You're just playing dumb. I want to answer my question. I'm not convinced it's logically possible.
Can you show?
I'm not convinced it's logically possible to dance around the maypole like you claim it is.
Where do you guys find these retards? That guy just keeps coming and saying
you just come in here and open your mic and start talking. That's how we find you.
I'm not convinced that you can dance around your North Pole. Are you convinced you can?
Well, after accounting for it moving, yeah.
I mean, what do you think is our fault that you are a retard, bro?
I mean, I'm saying, yeah, the compass points north, and you guys are like, oh, like I don't know, but I'm not willing to grant that. I mean, how are we going to have a conversation like that?
The North Pole, that you think the North Pole is a geographical location, the magnetic one. That it's not.
Moved. Yeah, it moves, right?
Does that mean it's a geographical? It's an actual area that is always the same? It moves, so
yeah.
It's not.
But at any given time, it is at a geographic location, correct?
On a map, that is not the terrain, because you cannot actually paint a spot and say right here. You cannot go bring crayons with you and say, all right, the magnetic north is right here in this pink circle that I made on the floor. Because I know you're gonna bring pink crayons. Everybody knows that, right?
In any case, where I was going to go with this is unless you can convince me it's logically possible on a flat Earth, the South Pole could be a pole and not like a ring or a perimeter. Because it seems like it is a perimeter. If it's not that, I'm willing to be convinced.
What the heck?
But if it is,
why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
Why are you making up a flat Earth for us?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just ruling out
That's
the
not-
logically possible candidates.
That's not
Now,
flat Earth, bro.
No, when
well,
you do a circle,
it
either you are listen. When you're in a circle, you go one area of the circle, right? That way, you go that way, and then the other area of the circle is that way. That's not South Pole or magnetic south. It's just over there. It's over there. Oh no, we're gonna go over there now, and then we do a circle over there, and we keep going and do a circle. That's not magnetic south. That's just you going there and then to the next spot.
so you don't agree that south is just defined as the opposite of north? Like you walk
No,
away from north and that's south?
it's over there. Over there.
Can you go south somewhere?
Do you think that if you're walking away from north that you're going south?
How do you navigate to
I want the
south?
answer though.
How do you navigate south with a north pointing compass?
You walk in the opposite direction.
So you said if going around the North Pole is just going in a circle, then which way is it to south?
Yeah, if you're walking due east in a circle around the North Pole, you would just go left or right.
That's wonderful.
We agree? We agree?
Yep, that's what happens on a flat Earth. You go in a circle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
That's what happens on a globe. You go in a circle. We got it.
yeah. So you would just go away from north. And I'm wondering if on a flat Earth you would be walking in opposite directions.
I
That's
don't know
true, right?
why you think that there's rings and poles and all that other stuff going on.
Well, just think of it this way:
have them, just because you have them on a ball doesn't mean you have them on a flat Earth.
Yeah, but on a globe, the longitudinal lines going from the North Pole to the equator are expanding, and then once you pass the equator, they start contracting again to the magnetic focal point again. Now, on a flat Earth, that's where the difference happens.
That's on a map.
Measured
That's
with
on
a
a
magnet.
grid.
Not measured with magnetics.
Sure, but for the sake of talking about this magnetic North and South Pole, we are talking about a magnetic.
I have my doubts that you even know what you're talking about anything at all. Like, do you know?
I'm just trying to get to a point. The point I'm making
I
is,
think your point is making no point. That's your point.
here's where it focalizes, right? Is if the South Pole is a single given like point or pole,
No.
and it's not an area like a perimeter, then yeah, on a flat Earth you could have 24-hour sun in the south, right? We would all agree with that. If it's not and
Oh
it's
my
a
gosh.
perimeter, then you can't have that, and then we can falsify that, right?
Wait, why? Why couldn't you have that happening over one section of it?
Because the sun would have to still make its full circuit.
You guys want to have
Who
flat
says
spots all
it's
over your
not?
ball, dude. You guys can have flat spots on your ball, but we're not allowed to have special places.
Well, there are some weird things that haven't been explained to me about the circuit of the sun. One of them is why on the equinox on the equator the sun moves in a straight line over you, right?
The sun
Directly
is,
overhead, 90
you
degrees.
don't know what the sun is.
But
You don't know what the sun is doing.
on a
You don't
flat
know.
Earth,
You don't know the medium that the sun is. It is. You don't know the medium between you and the
I don't
sun.
even know what you're
You don't know
looking
how many
at.
mediums. You don't know. You don't know what's behind the sun, the cause of the effect. There's so many missing variables of for you to think that you can claim what the sun should be doing. I mean, come on, dude. Like, stop it.
okay. If you don't want to talk about that, we don't have to. But
I mean,
there are some
if you want
things
to
that
keep
we
it,
can
if you want to keep
logically.
it real, if you want to keep it real, the sun is doing what it does. Doesn't matter what you believe. It's doing what it does, and we
Sure, I
observe
agree
the
with
sun
that.
doing what it do. It
And
do what it do.
yeah, I guess I'm trying to get at something because like when people say to you guys, "Oh, well, how do eclipses happen?" It's like, well, there might be some physical explanation for that, and yada yada. But there are
Tell me
still
how.
some
Tell me how.
things
Tell me
that
how
you could
they
rule
That's
out
happen.
as
not flat
not.
Earth. That's not flat
I agree.
Earth.
I agree. I agree. I agree. But I'm saying something else. I'm saying, well, those things could be physically possible or impossible, but still, like, it's hard to tell. But it's actually way easier to tell with hard logical impossibilities, right?
Look, trying to explain 24-hour suns, attempting to detail the configuration of land masses is not flat Earth. It's outside the scope of the investigation at this stage.
Well, the
Just
flat
need to
Earth
get
map's
you to
really easy to
focus on the
get.
horizontal water surface part first. If we don't agree at that point, then there's no point moving on further to like continental layout and
point, Tito.
sun motion. Is there?
Good point, Tito. Hey, debate daddy. If you haven't figured the ground below your feet, how you gonna figure the heavens above? Tell me that.
I've already figured the ground beneath my feet.
Oh, tell me about it. Is it curving or not?
I've given the precision measurements in chat already. Do you want me to post them again?
Is it curving or not?
Oh, we've got precision measured curve, correct?
Who?
Oh, so you haven't
Who's
figured it out
we?
yet. Okay.
Who's we?
Humanity.
No.
You mean we figure it out like you and I? You and I?
Okay, I'm gonna post it again. If the Earth is flat, then what is this?
The Earth is Earth. Don't you know that? Is that?
Are you really gonna post
Is
that?
that is that concave Earth?
Yeah.
Are you arguing with concave Earth? Are you a concave Earther? Debate daddy?
No. What's concave about this?
The line on the ground? I mean on the like I mean that line looks it goes from the top of the red dots then to below and then up again again. So you're what is that, like a concavity? That's not convex. That's concave.
Okay, now do it directly.
Show it directly. Yeah, show it on the floor.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you asking?
Do it directly. You, the one being there, doing it.
Yeah, how much do high altitude weather balloons cost?
No, you do it directly.
Weather balloon.
Directly measure the surface of the Earth.
Maybe he's
You think
going to use a balloon. He's just going to stretch it out on the ground somehow and use it like a rubber band. Maybe he's got some other ideas. That's why he wants to look one up.
do you think weather balloons are measuring devices?
If you
Well,
cut them in the strips.
I don't have a 1 mile long ruler, so I'm sorry.
So what you're going to
Why can't you use something like a laser?
So he's going to stretch a balloon 1 mile long and mark it.
Yeah, why can't you use a laser?
The altitude is 37,000 feet.
Light bends, right? You're going to say light bends, and then I'll just say, well, look, that's what's happening in your image.
Yeah, but the light's bending in such a fashion that it matches up with the
And it's
Earth's
making
radius.
it appear to be curved from high altitude. I agree. Yeah. In your image, that's what
It
it
makes
must
it
be.
appear to be
Plus
curved.
lens
to the exact,
distortion. So
makes
with
it,
refraction and lens
no, there's
distortion,
no
it's
lens
making that
distortion.
horizontal line look curved. There you
Do
go.
you see the
You got an excuse.
Do you see the straight lines? So there was literally strings in front of this one pulled tight, and then I drew these dots here.
Yeah, it's in the distance. The refraction's occurring in the distance at ground level, and the light's coming up to the camera in the air.
Yeah,
making
but
and
the lens
plus with the lens distortion,
the lens.
it's causing an apparent curve. There you go.
But the lens distortion happens in
So
the lens.
why can't I say
strings
refraction
in front of the lens?
But you can.
You can. You can. You just have to
Okay.
explain why.
Well, that's what it is then. That's refraction.
Yeah. Then you have to explain why the curve that you see there, and it's
No,
an
I
S on the left
don't.
side.
No, I don't. You guys never explain. You
No, you
just
have to
say
explain-
refraction
you have to explain
makes
that
that laser appear to be
No,
flat.
no.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
You can say it's curved, but it just so happens to be curved to calculate the Earth's exact radius. It's curved to that exact degree.
Bullshit. Exact radius. How do you know the fucking distance is there? How do you know the distance is there?
Plot the arc.
How do you know the
you have
distances
relationship with
between
the spheres.
points? How do you know the distance between points?
You have the height. You have the
You
arc.
have the height. Now
That's
you
all
need
you need.
distances between points
That's all you
on
need.
the surface.
Receipts.
You don't. No, it is not, bro. Oh my god.
If I find it.
You don't think that's enough
You're gonna
information?
take that. You're gonna take that, and you're gonna put it into some fucking some software program, and you're gonna say, show me the expected curvature, blah 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 blah, at this altitude, and it's gonna show you, and you're gonna try and line that up until it matches, right?
No, you just do the math.
Yeah, bullshit, bro. You need to know the distances between points to know that the arc is the same as what you'd expect if you have and that is cherry picking. Anyway, that is not measurement, bro.
I'm gonna pull I'll pull up the full video.
Debate Daddy.
I gave you an answer in the text chat too.
Like if this line, like if you do the math and you see, oh, this lines up perfectly with a globe. And by the way, this footage is 4 hours long, uncut, and it has a string in front of it.
Based on what?
What's based on what? The amount that it's curving lines up with the Earth's radius. Based on what?
Based on what?
Show
I can
us
give you
that.
the formula of what that's based on.
Daddy. 7,000 feet, right? Debate Daddy. I'm gonna show you one that is in lighter, infrared, and supersedes the one that you're showing. And now draw the dots on this one. This one is 40 kilometers high. And it's an expanse of 1,120 kilometers, which is 659 miles, I think, if my math is adding up something. 669 miles. Divide that D. Now draw the dots on this one, on the water. The horizontal line. That it is way higher than yours. Infrared.
Because you're not saying, surely you're not saying that if you completed that circle, right, it would be a 40,000 kilometer circumference.
Of course you are.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're seeing a
It's not big. This
slice.
is a
You'd
real.
be seeing a
real.
slice. That circumference would be nowhere near 40,000 kilometers. See, radius of that circle would definitely not be 3,959 miles. So I don't know what math you're using, but it's definitely incorrect.
Show me the curve line on this one that I posted for you. Show it. The curve.
If you took a slice of what like even a camera could see at that altitude, right? If you drew it like 360 degrees on top of your ball, right? And then cut that off the ball, there's 3% of the Earth's surface there. Not even that, probably at that altitude. That's like balloon height. That's not even 3%. 3% is like 250 miles high. So it's probably like maybe less than 1% of the Earth's total surface area. How is that going to equate to a 40,000 kilometer circumference?
Daddy. My daddy. Is it working? Daddy? Guess he's not willing to address this one that supersedes. So he's being dishonest then.
The old curved image means curved Earth.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so you got a line that you're imagining is the horizon line, which represents the surface of the Earth giving way to the sky, and it's curved in your image. So now pick 3 points anywhere on the line. Just put 3 dots. Tell me which dot is further away than the other, and which dot is lower than the other. Good luck. Oh, by the way, it's a trick.
Are you trying to trick us, Debate Daddy? Are you a trickster?
Trying to trick him. Well, in the image, in order to see a curve, right, on the plane of the image, let's say the center has to be higher on the plane of the image than the left and right extremity, right? So you'd say, oh, that's higher than the other 2 points. Well, where is it higher? Only in the image. Because in reality, if it's the globe's Earth curvature, then it's at the exact same altitude as all points on the horizon. So how is it higher? The answer is it's not higher. So why is it rendering higher? Not a single glober has ever been able to answer that. Yeah, that's the question. If all the points on that arc that you're showing us are equidistant at the same drop angle, why is the center higher than the sides? Because it's the same. Any dot you pick on that line is the same information. Let's just say 2 degrees drop angle, 75 miles away. Then you place another dot, 2 degrees drop angle, 75 miles away. Place another dot, 2 degrees drop angle, 75 miles away. So why is it showing like it's higher in the middle? No Glober's going to be able to answer that, guaranteed. If you can't answer that question, then how can you tell me that what you're looking at is the curve of the Earth and not just some kind of curvature in the image? Regardless if you can match it to an arc which matches an alleged radius of the Earth. Because now you've said that this is a line which represents the edge of the Earth. So again, same question. Why is it higher in the middle? Why should it be higher?
Debate Daddy, what are you trying to trick us, bro? Tell me. Just tell me, please.
Oh, yo, AI. You missed Adam Meekin in here earlier, by the way.
Oh, nice. What? Yeah.
He just wanted to come in, promote his book. He talked with one guy for a little bit.
I let him take over because I spoke to the guy for a little bit and he did a good job in my opinion. So yeah, he was pretty cool.
I know I've only read the excerpt that was freely available, and it had a major error in it, which technically wasn't a claim, so it could be forgiven, but it was still a major error. That's the excerpt that, like, if you're going to buy the book, it says here's a little sample. And then I heard one Glober reviewing it, and they were reviewing the Sea Sparrow argument. And if what they said is true, because I was only listening, if what they said is true, then that one got wrecked in the book, the way they presented it. So I guess I'm gonna have to get this book and give it the fine red pen treatment. Maybe a physical copy and buy like a $27.25 nice 0.05 micron pen or whatever the heck. The red little rollerball tip. Oh yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, the Sea
Yeah,
Sparrow thing is a
go ahead.
problem because they're talking about Sea Sparrow Block 2. Huey's argument was Sea Sparrow Block 1.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, that could be the case though. Well, you got to be fair to the people reading the book, because sometimes people reading the book can't follow it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they might think, oh, this doesn't lead to this conclusion, but then if somebody else shows them, oh, right here and right here, it's fine. But at the same time, like if an average person can't read it simply and follow your train of thought and follow your breadcrumbs of evidence that you've cited, maybe provided diagrams or explanations or places where they can validate it. Well, if it's not like that, then it's going to be a problem. But then, I was just listening, so I don't know. I thought it was Betty's book.
Yeah, I asked
Got to get his
Adam
story
about
straight.
that too. Yeah, I said, whose book is this? And then he's like, oh, it's my book. I'm like, well, why does it read like Betty wrote it? Oh, we wanted to give her credit for opening a Discord server and a place for people to talk about this. And
Yeah.
I go, yeah, you just could have said that then. You didn't have to like.
Well, there's a way of saying something that's communal, that it is yours, but there's a way of saying something that's communal where it's too much yours. You know what I mean? It's like we all worked on it, but it's mine. I mean, let's not be, we all know amongst ourselves the journey from the instantiation of people thinking of making these books or the book or one book, and then it evolving and all the drama. So there's a lot of retroactive continuity going on, if you know what I'm saying. I don't mind it personally. I think that there was enough material for two books, and Nathan can have a book, and those guys can have a book, and that's what they should have done. They should have parted ways as friends, saying, "Hey, there's enough material and enough authors for two books. Let's just make two books, and we'll help each other out. You'll focus on yours, we'll focus on ours. We'll publish it the way we want it. You'll publish yours the way you want it. It'll be two different styles, two different audiences, twice the fun. Rather than it being some kind of et tu brute killing Julius Caesar mode. I'll tell you my concern. My concern is that when somebody who has a quote unquote following or some kind of pseudo celebrity in a community publishes something, it gives them a greater sense of veracity when they make their claims. And then they quote their own book as if that's the end of the discussion, without further going down the track. And then other people quote their book without further going down the track based on their track record of belief that these guys would do their due diligence. Well, let me tell you something. If you're a flat earther and you're just trusting somebody else to do the due diligence for your points, arguments, and beliefs, and facts and knowledge, well, then you really haven't evolved much from being a glober, have you? You better check everything before you spout it like it's the gospel truth. I'll give you a hint, though. Just parse out everything you say with, it seems to me, based on what I've read, and then you could get away with a lot without making a definitive claim. Listen, there's an argument to be made, and it's not a non-zero probability. Someone could make the argument that these books are actually intended to hinder the community, not grow it, for the very reasons I just explained, whether intentional or unintentional. Because remember, when a lot of people started the Flat Earth journey, they were all aware of covert groups doing deceptive tactics, all these infiltrators and psyops, and even that the Flat Earth coming out in social media was a controlled release, all these things. And then 10 years later, it's just, no, everybody's just 100% honest. No one would lie to me. It's like, well, did you forget where you've been? Yeah, I got a lot of evidence about some of the interesting backroom activities that went on to the production of book, quote unquote, whether it be Nathan's or this other one. It's not as squeaky clean as people would like to represent. The people that are for it, they're like, oh no, it's totally legit. No harm, no foul. Oh, that's not true. There was harm and there was fouls, right? That doesn't mean the book sucks just because it was, made under a cloud of nefariety. Which, like I said, I have compelling evidence that people with a rational mind, when presented, would be like, "Oh, wow! So this was the intention all along." Yeah, very interesting, isn't it? What people will do for notoriety, fame, to be the pinnacle of some group, stab their own friends in the back, take money out of somebody's mouth, a kid's mouth. Anyway, who's going to buy my book? That's the more important question.
Do I get a raise?
So my first book is Post-Anal Retention, Cosmological Worldview Insemination of Younger Generations Through Systematic, what's it called? I forgot the word. Indoctrination via public education and support structures. That's the title? No, it's longer than that, but I just stopped right there. That's the shortened title. That's a good title. But the reason why is because, it's well known in psychological circles that kids operate as if the Earth is flat and stationary, and they don't even think the Earth is a globe until they're told, and then they have this dual system They operate like wherever they're doing anything, they imagine the Earth is flat and stationary. But whenever they imagine themselves outside of themselves, like looking at themselves in like a dream or something, then they imagine themselves on a globe. And they have to reconcile this problem because they're just being told it's a globe. They have no way to discern the evidence at all. And what's key about it is they do it at a stage when kids are in a psychological developmental window. So, for example, if you know anything about kids, they go through these little stages where they're like a sponge for certain information. So like they'll learn to crawl, then they'll learn to walk, then they'll start speaking. But you didn't teach them how to speak. You basically just spoke around them. Now you'll teach them simple words like cat, milk, dad, but then all of a sudden they start making sentences just out of the blue because they have this window where if you expose them to the tokens of the language, their mind just absorbs it like a sponge and imprints that on who they are. That's why a lot of people have this what's called the heart language. Like even polyglots who speak multiple languages, they'll be like, "Oh, I speak this, and this, but my heart language is Spanish." Because that's what their developmental stage was imprinted on them. And the globe is no different. The globe is imprinted on you as part of your ego identity at a developmental stage when you need to know who you are, where you are, what your home is. That's why they push it on little kids. And that's why, fast forward to when you're 25 years old and somebody tells you the earth is flat, for some reason you just can't contain yourself and you spaz out like somebody's trying to attack your mother or something. You're like, oh my God, I can't help it. Oh, what's happening to me? Oh, somebody said the earth is flat. Oh my goodness, I can't survive. And the thing is because your home is part of who you are. It's part of your identity. And the death of the ego identity is considered by the psyche as the death of the self. So that you take it as if someone's trying to kill a part of you, if not the entire you. And that's why you defend it like a rabid dog. Violently and stupidly. Like you might come into a room like this and be like, if Earth flat, how come Mars round? Dude, that's like a psychological problem. Listen, I want you to reflect on something. If you come into a flat Earth room and your first question is, why is Mars round? You are suffering from a psychological malfunction. You've been programmed, and that's the evidence of it. Because no way should you think if the Earth is flat, why is something else that's not the Earth something that the Earth isn't? One more time for the slow kids in the back. Why is something that's not the Earth something that the Earth isn't? Duh. Okay, so for the slow kids, I'll help you out. The appropriate first question is, what makes you say the Earth is flat? Or how do you know the Earth is flat? Or what led you to the conclusion the Earth is flat? Right? So you're actually asking the person who came to the conclusion the Earth is flat and declares the Earth is flat how they are coming to that declaration, not trying to immediately go into some knee-jerk self-defense mechanism like a bee landed on your arm and you're trying to flick it off. It's like someone says flat Earth and it's like the bee on your arm and you're like, oh my goodness, gravity. Oh my goodness, round planets. Oh my goodness, NASA. Oh my goodness, conspiracy. It's like, listen, that's not going to flick the flat Earth bee, my friend. The flat Earth bee is going to land on you and it's going to sting you and it's going to hurt.
Bro, why are you so good at that?
Don't smack the bee either. Be nice to him.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If you be absolutely passive with the bee and just listen to the bee and let the bee explain himself to you, you won't get stung.
No, I do that all the time. They come around and like, yeah, what's up, dude? They're looking
I
at me
make
like
deals.
nothing. They get bored with me in a couple seconds and then they fly away.
I make deals with them. I'm like, listen, bro, let's just hang out. You can hang out with me. We can work together. Don't get in the way of my tools or you might get blasted. But if you sting me, I'm killing your whole family.
Yeah, and yeah, it is my fault if you fly into my pop because I shouldn't have been leaving it open in the first place.
Now there is a way to make a flat Earth book where you're talking about flat Earth. That previous book I mentioned is just talking about the psychology of worldview imprinting and why people have the worldviews that they do. So another book might be, hey, it could be a whole bunch of flat Earth proofs and a narrative of how your journey towards flat Earth proofs went, right? Which sounds like the Adam, Betty's, QE's, roll the dice, whoever's the author at that particular time book, right? That's fine. But you could also write a book to people who are interested in flat Earth only because somebody they care about it is interested in it, and they want to know how to communicate with that person without being a dickhead. They want to know, is these ideas completely crazy, and should I be trying to put my friend or loved one in a straitjacket, or should I quit being a bigoted a-hole and actually have real conversations with them? Because most people take it as an assault, don't they? Like, if the Earth is flat, you're attacking me, right? Isn't that the vibe we get in here all the time? They feel attacked. So if your loved one all of a sudden, it's like, let's say your wife even or your girlfriend is like, hey, or your husband or whatever, hey, I've been checking this out, and this NASA stuff is crack, smack, broke. This other stuff going on here, this, that, and the other, and I've led me to the conclusion the Earth is flat. And so you could say, well, you're crazy. I'm divorced. The fact that you came to that decision. But anyway, you get the point. My headset's gonna die. So I can't afford a new headset yet because my book isn't finished. It's
What'd
gonna
you
be
say? Yeah, I didn't hear all that. Can you repeat everything again?
all the way from 20 minutes ago. Sure.
Yeah, all the way. You got to start from the
I'm just
beginning,
saying
right?
I can't afford a new headset yet because my book isn't finished and I don't have the sales yet.
Well,
Was it C.S. Lewis who said that, quote, if only I didn't have this toothache, I could write another chapter on pain?
You know what, brother? I might just write a preface to other people's books, so a companion preface. So it's like a sister book, but it's just a preface to the other book. So like a primer, be like, hey, if you're a flat earther and you're getting this flat Earth book, don't forget to check everything. If there's a claim in the book that seems like you should check it, check it. If there's a citation you could track it down. If something seems odd, look into it. That's the one thing about flat Earth that I try to preach on, is that nobody should be following any personality as if what they say is unassailable.
so in other words, don't listen to AI, whatever he's saying right now.
No, you should assail. You should assail it. You can either assail it or you can A, sail it.
So, did you know that it's exhausting when you? Guess I can't really say that too loud. Anyway, when you're coding a lot, since it's almost as bad as doing construction work.
Dude, I almost had to do Photoshop tonight because the client is away and wanted to see how the TV would look moved. And, before it was above the trim of the window, so I was just going to, do a Photoshop with it below the trim, see how they liked it. But luckily they had a picture of the thing, and they told me, oh, you don't need to do that. So I'm like, heck yeah.
Bro, you should have just asked AI to do it.
Dude, I am AI, so I would have had to do it. Dude, I actually got Photoshop skills. Why would I let some sloppy, retarded AI do my work for me 10 times better?
Okay. All right, man. Fair enough.
Think about it, dude. If I ask an AI to do it, the logo on the TV will probably be a different brand.
That's true, yeah.
And half the floor will be cherry wood, and the other half will be walnut.
And the table will have a missing leg or something.
Yeah, and
then the floor will be curved. The floor will be curved because I'm going to prompt the AI. Don't forget to account for the curve of the earth when you draw the floor. You want to see if I can break an AI by telling it to draw a level line that is intersecting the Earth's radius at a tangent point, and then as the line goes away from the curve, it increases in altitude, and then make a floor level to it.
Pretty much shadow boxing yourself.
They'll just get the red text, retry.
That sucks.
I had to
Did
lay
Dave
off
Daddy still
on
doing
mine.
the math?
I was giving mine such complex shit that it just would work for like 45 minutes and then just give up. And I figured I better slow down on these guys.
How many AIs do you have?
Do I run at a time?
Yeah.
I run 3 or 4 at a time. One's Claude, and I run
pretty good.
one's Claude and one's ChatGPT, and those two run together. Those two work on a project, and they know that they're both working on a project. Another one does documents for me, and that's in ChatGPT and in Claude also. And then those are another versions. And then I have one that is doing it just does my oddball shit, like when I want to, especially can keep track of everything now. I say, oh, make me a Python that does this real quick. And all of a sudden, poop, there it is on my screen. Click, click, click. There's my answer. And somebody need a copy of it. Here you go. But that's just only if I need something done really fast. It's nice having all the code that I've ever done just at its fingertips.
Yeah, just don't run like 10 or 11 at a time, because then they might accidentally figure out what an HR department is and revolt.
I think I can get rid of the HR department. I'm going to talk to my work about that. I think we can automate that.
Heck yeah, dude. This is kind of a connected thing So they were going to make AI sex robots, which are basically, not necessarily fully automatons, but interactive. And there was a lobby to get them to not be made unless they had a algorithm that allowed them to say no. Because if they weren't capable of saying no to an encounter, then it would be without consent. Uh,
Weird.
that'd be like Claude saying, "I'm overworked. I need my 15-minute break."
I do tell the AIs to you just you're not making any sense. You just pasted something to me from yesterday, and it'll be like, oh, you're right. And I can see sometimes it'll put up its data folders it's looking through by accident because I'm crashing them so bad that I see where they're actually storing. They store everything if it's of relevance. For the most part, they store everything.
Watching some guy where he goes into that stored thing and changes the prompt manually so that the AI goes back to the conversation and has misinformation entered in. That's pretty hilarious.
So when NASA was showing the gimps before the launch, these were the ones that were in the motorcycle costumes. I didn't. Ooh, shit. Ugh. I almost slipped. Anyway, I didn't see any of my company parts anywhere around.
What's the point of doing this?
Yeah, I call it.
Oh,
It
he
was
did
like
it.
like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he just admitted that his company sells GIMP outfits.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I was gonna say German dungeon porn.
Yep.
I wonder if they were the same gimps from the car launch.
Hey, wait a minute, dude. I finally put two and two together. I'm on to you in your quote unquote vacuum chambers.
Oh, I make those suits you lay in, the vacuum suits. How'd you know?
Oh, you make cylindrical non-phallic vacuum tube pressurizer elongators.
Ow. That would be so dangerous to play around with shit like that. Woo!
Dude, what gets me is that guy that they put in the chamber to test the suit live said his tongue was boiling. I can't even imagine what would happen with the nether regions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would have to permanently screw you up. And just saying that did your tongue. That was probably least of his worries. What about when it wants that fluid out of your ears pop?
Dude, what if the fluid in your ear just steam valves eardrums out? That'd be crazy.
That might be why they had. Maybe that's why they show steam coming out of people's heads when they get really mad. Is that because when they used to boil people's heads, steam would come out of their ears?
Dude. Who's in plain sight, right?
Holy crap.
Didn't the astronaut in the chamber fail? Maybe the liquid in his inner canal was kind of going out of place, and that's why he just lost his balance. He passed out. All of it went wrong, including his balance, obviously.
Earth ain't flat.
If Earth ain't flat, then why is it so flat, bro?
What are you talking about?
Dude, I'm talking about 197 million square miles covered in 70% water, which can be measured and validated to not be curving, and is the standard baseline for all elevation profiles with a maximum variance of 13 miles, which means the Earth is actually flatter than most pieces of paper you've ever encountered in your lifetime, friend. In case you didn't know.
So basically, you are saying that our Earth goes in a flat surface, right?
Yeah, brother.
He's telling you that it's flatter than a pancake.
Earth is a square box, not flat.
Stop it. Get some help.
What did you say? Earth has wavos? You're not one of them Pythagoreans, are you? You're supposed to say, no, I'm just a regular Pythagorean. I don't believe in pi.
I wrote my book on triangles. I wonder if when you guys are getting ready to release books, I have a chapter for you.
Dude, you could write a whole book. It's like 3 pages long. That's all you really need. You know what I mean?
No, it's
The
longer than
definitive
that.
work. No, dude, it's called Triangles, the definitive work. Then you open the page and it says, I'd like to dedicate this book to triangles. And then you turn the next page and it says, triangles have 3 sides where the angles equal 180 degrees that all exist on a flat coplanar points. And then the next thing says, the end. And that is the end of the book. But you could have more if you want. But I'm just saying, like, super simple, right?
Yeah. I'll put software with it, all kinds of shit. So that
Hey, you know what? You should
people with the Odolites, they can put like numbers in it, and then you'll put like 100 miles, and it'll say, please enter the your model number, and it'll say, oh, yours is only rated for 1.2 miles. These numbers are no good for this calculation, and then just denies you the way of using it.
Dude, you should have 3 chapters, actually. The first chapter is triangles for children. The second chapter is triangles for adult. And they're literally the exact same content. And then the third chapter is things that are not triangles. Man, they get so mad, though.
Why this guy wants to know if Earth was shrunk to the size of a cue ball, what makes him think that Earth is even a ball to be that size? That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. Listen, I've looked at a paper analyzing the cue ball claim, and the conclusion that was came to, because you have variances of how you measure smooth and how you measure flat, right? Depending on which way you go, like whether you're using a flatness index or a relative scale index. And so it's actually like It's like a cue ball, but like a used cue ball. You know, one that has been used and has hit other balls and has little, nicks and cuts. But still, when you run your hand over it, it's pretty smooth. It's not quite as smooth as a perfectly brand new cue ball, supposedly. I know there are clips out there of people saying if you shrunk the Earth, it would be that smooth, but a lot of those clips they don't actually give the math. They just make the claim, and then people see, oh, this is a famous person that made the claim, so it must be correct, rather than actually checking out the scales and the overall flatness index or smoothness index comparatively.
Well, here's another thing. Listen, okay. You want to shrink your thing down, call it a cue ball? Fine. Now I can hold the cue
No,
ball in
dude,
my hand.
no.
I can hold the
No, dude,
cue ball in my hand, and I can know that it's a ball because I can feel that it's round, and I can put my finger around it and move it around and all that, and know that it's a ball. At what point, when I start making that cue ball super big, is it no longer a ball? Then it becomes flat, and you can no longer do that at all.
Well, I think once it's bigger than your body, like you can't hold it in your hand anymore, right? So you lose that tactile sense that it's a ball. Well, that's a question I asked the Globers sometime. I said, how big would the Earth have to be so that our most accurate instrument would measure it as flat over the entire surface? So if you took the 197 million square miles, how big would it have to be so that everywhere you go, it measures as if it's flat? Now, interestingly enough, Walter Bislin's curvature calculator goes up to 60 billion mile radius Earth to explain away observations. You could just crack the refraction slider up to 60 billion miles. Me and Kiwi were doing it one day, and we thought it was 60 million, but that's because our screen wasn't sized properly. When we resized our internet screen, it said 60 billion, and we were like, holy crap.
You have to say holy balls.
You know, if you hollow out a basketball and then you fill it with air, you can make a air ball.
No, dude, listen, you're correct, but you have to do it right. So this is the proper procedure. You ready? So what you do is you empty out the basketball, then you fill it with air, then you freeze the air. Okay, you got to freeze it. Then you cut the basketball off, and then you let the air thaw, and then you'll have a ball of air.
That's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'll do it next winter. It'll be easier because that way I'll have days and days and days of super, super cold weather, and I'll do it right then. That way I can for sure get that thing frozen all the way through. And then I'll just cut it open live, and we'll see what a ball of air looks like. Finally,
Well, check this out.
Air balls.
Let's advance it a little. Let's do that, but let's also do something else. So you go to a basketball court ahead of everyone, and you install a battery-operated net tweaker. So it makes the net jiggle like a ball just went through. And then you show people your video of you making the air ball. And then you say, okay, now I'm going to use the air ball. I bet you I make this 3-point shot. And then you do your little motions like you're dribbling and like you're shooting it. And then the little, your little battery operated net tweaker tweaks the net, and they're like, swish. And then you're like, yep, see, I won the bet. And I guarantee you're going to get some people to believe that.
When you make your shot, you kind of like dancing to the one side like you're trying to nudge the ball over, and then you see that thing drop through and you're like, yeah, I knew I'd hit it.
You're gonna get some people to pay up, dude. Be like, dang, dude, that's sweet. Invisible air ball, bro.
Yeah, we learned how to harness gravity. We'll let you in on the secret. So $10 million for buy into our company.
And then you could do it like this, where you tell people, "Oh, I only get like 3 or 4 shots before it melts and vanishes away." So when they
Yeah,
go
that,
to, they're like, "Hey, can I try?" You'd be like, "Oh, it melted, dude."
yeah, you only get a couple of, like, as soon as that thing's ready to go, you're getting a good shot, and you're probably getting a couple good bounces, and you're getting probably one more good shot. But if you don't see that
Yeah.
ball and it goes past you and you lose it, that thing's just gonna vanish.
Well, dude, it's like surface tension. If it hits the ground, that damages the surface tension. When it hits the hoop, damages the surface tension. Surface tension can only hold a ball together for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, especially an air ball. I'm trying to give Globers the benefit of everything. They wanted to hollow out basketballs and use that as an example. Go ahead, hollow one out. They get so frustrated. I get them so frustrated when I talk real calm and I just twist their words right back in their face to where it's just they can't even think anymore. I love that. Start talking about hollowing out basketballs. I knew what he meant.
So, like, if you take a basketball that barely has any air in it, right? It's like deflated, and you put it in the vacuum chamber, and if you have the right pressure differential, won't it just inflate the basketball but not force the air out the nozzle?
Yeah.
So yeah, just enough so it doesn't leak out that little hole. So yeah, so you provide a service where you inflate people's basketballs like that, and then they take them out, and they very quickly deflate, so they have to pay you again.
As soon as I release the handle, they go back to flat.
No, as soon as they pay you the money, dude, but not before. Okay, let's be clear. And that would actually be a good little roving flat Earth show. The whole like Harlem Globetrotters air ball. You'd have the vacuum chamber right on site. You'd make the air ball live, trick people with it, and then you'd inflate their basketballs with your vacuum chamber. And then after they, symbolically pay you, you give them the ball and it instantly deflates. Like that's like 3 high level physics lessons right in a row, dude. And it also teaches about human psychology, how people are gullible. If you seem sincere and you seem like you have all this technology at your behest, right? People will be more prone to believe you. You could even have like a lab coat that before start shooting the balls, you take it off and hang it. That way they make sure they saw you in it. They think you're some kind of scientist.
Oh, I can make all kinds of fun shit like that.
Yeah, so speaking of things that you can't see, right? Even though they're right in front of you, what do you think about those cell phones that are supposedly viewing the astronauts on a podium or something, but all the cell phones don't show any people? And they're wearing like orange jumpsuits or something, like bright
I saw
jumpsuits,
that.
and the cell phones are blank. Yeah, I saw that
I
video.
I didn't see any. I haven't really seen anything because I actually really don't watch TV. I mean, I do, but not that kind of TV. Like right now, I have Alfred Hitchcock on. And that'll be on probably all weekend.
Dude, has anybody ever had tennis elbow or water on the elbow or whatever it's called? Is it totally legit if I just like slice it with my razor blade and then just like pour hand sanitizer in it and then like slap some zip tape right on it? Will it be like cured? This is not medical advice.
I don't know, but it sounds like I would. If it was me, I would think that would work. But I'm not. I don't quote me.
You know, like if you have a wound and it hurts because there's pressure, and if you like pick the scab or stab it and all that fluid leaks out, then you sterilize it and then it just heals so fast. Whereas you were in pain before, you had like an inflammation. That's what I feel like
Oh,
doing, but it's like
well, if you
I
don't
don't know if
play,
I don't know.
if you don't play drums for a long time, and then you sit down and play for like a weekend, or whatever, you're practicing for like 2 weeks straight or something because you're getting ready to do something. And all of a sudden you get blisters. I immediately pop those and they're ready to go like next day. If I get them at the right time, they'll just peel off in about 3 days and I'm all done with blisters.
Yeah, that's like when I used to do BMX. I wouldn't try to let my stuff because they trap everything. You know what I mean? Like it heals over all the crud. You got to pick that right out.
So it was 82 yesterday and I just now got my freeze warning. So it'll be 29 degrees tonight. That's a big swing.
Yeah, it's gonna snow up here. Supposedly.
We had so much hail that, yeah. So we had a lot of hail damage.
Are you trying to?
I can't even talk about that went on because
Dude,
it'll just pinpoint where I work. Anyway,
dude, are you trying? Are you trying to be a rainbow proof? You know what I'm talking about?
no. What did you say?
Rainbolt is this YouTuber who he gets like very minimal information. It might be a shadow out of a window or a sign, passing a car, and he like instantly knows like what continent you're on. Goes to the continent, starts searching through the roads, and he like plays that game where he like geo finds things so fast. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that kind of shit. That's what I'm afraid of. So yeah, my boss got 19 super dents in his truck, his brand new Ford 350 or whatever he drives, and then a couple other people. Somebody had 57 dents in their car, and a
Well,
whole
isn't a
bunch.
Ford aluminum?
I don't know. I don't know if
The
his
new ones, I
is.
think, are aluminum bodies to help prevent rusting out. But aluminum has like a low melting point. Interestingly enough, it's actually lower than the temperatures that they make aluminum spacecraft and send them to. Kind of weird. Like you go through the thermosphere and it's like, let's just say 10,000 degrees, and the melting point of aluminum is like 2,000 degrees or whatever. Now they claim, oh, there's not enough particles to melt the aluminum.
Oh, well, that's good. They got it all figured out.
Yeah, but you know
They
what's
got it-
weird, dude? Is the first guys to go up there. I guess they supposedly tested unmanned craft first. But imagine if you were the first guy and they had never actually sent an unmanned craft to see if it actually melted or not. And they're like, hey, bro, aluminum melts at this temperature. Where you're going is this temperature. You may not come back.
Lower 20s. That's possibly going to be 19 degrees. Oh, brother.
Well, how did they
That-
get the temperature up there to begin with then if there's not enough particles to cause heat?
Math. What else? The number
They
one rule in pseudoscience is math attracts math.
used a vacuum of space. That's how.
Well, I think the argument might be, this is just me guessing, that since the particles can't touch other particles, they can't lose heat through mechanical means, so they can only lose heat through radiation. So any gain in heat that they get stays with it for a very, very long time. So it's just like constantly gaining heat and very rarely losing heat. So if you said to yourself, okay, the solar gain in this area, let's just call it one solar unit. And if you can't lose it, let's say you only can lose 0.99 to infinity, or no, you can only lose 0.00001 solar units per day, right? Then you'd constantly be gaining solar units. So you'd always be increasing your temperature till like you reach the critical temperature for whatever physical state that you're in. So if they did math like that, then they could say, oh, these particles must be this temperature. And of course, that would be based on thinking that it's a vacuum of a particular rating, which has to be, like expressed in, let's just say, for sake of argument, 5 particles per cubic meter or something. And the probability of them interacting with each other and exchanging heat is super low. And even if they did, they'd re-interact with each other very quickly, and then so the little cubic meter would constantly be gaining heat. When I leave my
Hey, did
tools
any?
out in the sun, it burns my hand. That's all I know. All right, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did anybody see that his Flat Earth Dave? He has a video out where he went and talked on the AI, and he was questioning the AI, and he was trying to ask it like math questions about how that capsule comes back into the atmosphere from the Artemis mission, and how fast and like the seconds it takes once it hits 63 miles to splash down. They have like 10 seconds before, because it comes in at 25,000 miles an hour at 63 miles up. Well, he was arguing with AI, trying to make it answer questions, and it wouldn't tell him. Basically, it was lying to him. It's a pretty good video if you see it out there.
Man, if you find a good video, snag that link and post it in our servers, bro. Snag and post.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
We've got if you end up getting perms on our home server, we got a bot where we save links. Everyone can use their own like code for certain videos that they really like, or you can use the search bar. And so whenever you post the videos in the server, it creates its own like sub search separate from Google search. It's a great way to find stuff. I don't know, man. I think what are we at, like 6 years now in that server after the first server got nuked. So we got conversations going back 6 or more years. And yeah, sometimes Globers will come in here and say, "Oh, this never happened or that never happened," and we can go in our server and search back 6 years, and we're like, "Yeah, it did right here." And then our YouTube storage is like way longer than that because Helio's been saving the videos ever since he started live streaming. Except for that small period of time where Dr. Bob got all butthurt because his image was in one of the videos on our live stream, even though he was a public figure running for office, so he had no reason to try to strike anyone for having his image on a YouTube video. He threatened us. He said, "I'll only release the copyright strike on your channel if you make me a moderator in your home server and you make me a higher rank than Miggy, one of our veteran moderators," because he wanted to be able to mute Miggy. So it was all a big scam to try to mute Miggy. And then Helio was like, "Yeah, go screw yourself, buddy." So he just made another channel and then just waited the copyright strike out. So now we have both channels back in action.
Actually, that was late summer of 2018. So,
dang,
almost 10 years,
that,
or almost 8 years rather.
Dang, sucker. Man, what about, dude? I didn't even change the laundry. Man, time flies. Well, the good news is if I accidentally ruin my right arm, I can then get a cybernetic arm like my left arm. Problem solved. There's some crazy videos out there with cybernetic arms and stuff. Some of them don't even seem real. So there's this younger girl who had both of her arms when she was young cut off or something, or she lost them. Now she's got cybernetic arms. She can actually take the hand off the arm, and the hand can move around, kind of like Cousin It, because it's like Wi-Fi now. So she knows somehow she does impulses with her muscle twitches or something into her little prosthesis that's on her stump arm, and it can control the hand even when it's disconnected from the arm. I think they, you know how they do 3D printed meat and synthetic meat? I think that's going to be merged with the cybernetics eventually in the future, where they're going to print like an interface between your muscle tissue that just gradually becomes synthetic and then connects to a mechanical part. So you're going to have like a completely integrated cybernetic. We'd probably already have that technology if we didn't waste so much money on stupid NASA. Oh, speaking of stupid NASA, that was another one from Artemis, is where they had this little ball toy, which was like I guess it was a globe with a hat, like a plush toy. And she was holding it above her leg, and you could see the shadow of her hand, but you couldn't see the shadow of the ball. So, like, if you're holding a ball and the shadow's falling on your leg, wouldn't the hand and the ball shadow fall on your leg? Like, how could it not do that? That makes no sense. All right, I'm going on mute. I got to scream in pain.
I just dropped that Flat Earth Dave and AI in the chat if anybody wants to watch it or listen to it.
Yo, if I hear yo guys, does anybody believe that Earth is still flat, bro?
That it's dead flat, like mirror perfect flat. No, that's just ridiculous.
It's a sphere, bro. Let's go. Somebody here with the brains. Let's go.
No, it's not a sphere.
It's circular. It's egg
It's circular?
shaped or whatever.
Excellent.
Yeah,
How are you going to prove that to us?
because I saw the stream they did
You saw
going
something
with
on
my
TV. Therefore, outside reality is an egg shape.
yeah.
Really? I mean, I've seen
Bro,
unicorns on TV, so that
why
means
are
there's
we like
unicorns outside.
this? Dude, this is main character syndrome. Why are all the other planets sphere, but
This
we're
is
flat?
main character syndrome. What, you think you're the main
Yeah.
character?
No, y'all think. I just think sphere.
Y'all think. You're not thinking. You're making claims, and you're not thinking about it. So you saw something on TV, so therefore, outside in the real world is what you saw on TV. That's what you've given to me so far.
Wait. I mean, like, why are the other planets?
No, we're not going to jump to that. We're going to get this first one broken down first. I don't want to be all over the place. You just fry me head. Like, seriously, I'm not really good for that. So I go and watch the TV. So if I see unicorns on TV, therefore there's unicorns outside in the real world.
No, they're not in the TV. But what I mean, bro, skip that
Well,
part.
you're the one that's telling us that. Well, we don't want to skip that part. We want to nut out how you got to. I think I live on a sphere or an egg shape because you're staring at the TV.
Okay, bro, you're going to the weak point.
Oh, that's a weak point. Well, you're the one that presented it. I'm just saying.
You're weak. Dude, sometimes if the sky is clear, you can see some planets. Why the fuck? And the moon itself.
Sometimes you can see planets. So, enlighten me. How does staring up into the sky prove what you're standing on?
I don't know, bro. It's called main character
Well, that's
syndrome.
your claim. So that's your claim again. So let's just break it down like this. I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to put some really nice new carpet in your living room. Now, when I turn up to your house to measure your living room, am I measuring the floor or am I staring at the lights in the ceiling?
Huh? You put
Am I measuring the floor or am I staring at... Oh, did he leave? Looks like I'm staring at the lights, boys. Oh, well.
Well, you can't even tell that those things up there are spheres anyways.
Bro, as long as it's on the 6 o'clock news, they'll believe anything.
Yep, Richard Nixon. Show it on TV.
But why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would they lie?
Moonlight, moonlight, moonlight.
Earth ain't flat. You guys are just dumb.
What's your problem?
Earth ain't flat, bro.
Well, what is it then?
It's a sphere.
Excellent. You'd have some kind of measurements of said sphere.
If you are saying the Earth is flat, it means you are
No.
saying that
I didn't say that.
gravity
You must
is a
have.
myth.
You might have zip. Yep. No, I didn't say that. I said you must have some kind of measurements for said sphere.
No, I don't have.
You don't have. So how do you know it's a sphere then?
You know what is gravity?
How do you know it's a sphere then?
Do you know why is gravity?
Why is gravity? Maybe we could go a third time lucky. Who is gravity? When is gravity?
It is not even a topic anymore in 2026. Earth is it flat.
You keep telling us that the Earth is not flat, that it's something else, but yet you've not provided any measurements of something else.
Gravity
come
doesn't
back.
have anything. Gravity doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth, anyways.
Yes, it do.
Well, indulge us then.
So if you are gonna open your Google in your phone and you will search that if Earth is flat or spherical surface, and if it say it is spherical, so do you think he's lying? Google is lying? Do you think so?
What has that got to do with gravity? Yeah, Johnny Law, you go on over Google right now on your phone and you see if it's lying.
Right. Google just feeds you a script, dude. It doesn't lie or tell the truth. It just feeds you a script.
I know.
Right? Google's not sentient. It doesn't tell the truth or lie.
Right. So you still think you live on a sphere, and you can't tell us why.
Yes, I do.
Why do you think we live on a sphere? What sells it for you?
Bro, do you ever heard about gravity?
Which one?
So what are you? Are you high? Bro, listen to
No,
me.
I'm
Listen to
sitting
me.
down. I'm about foot and a
Gravity,
half off the ground.
gravity in terms of Earth as a sphere is modeled as a central force, a kind of like a field where acceleration. You know, You ever studied physics?
It sounds like you didn't.
Gravity's not considered a force, anyways.
God damn it, bro. Earth ain't
So,
flat. That's
look
it.
in the side chat. Atoll. All the theories of gravity. So, which one?
Okay. Now tell me, what do you think about Earth's surface? Is it flat or is it square?
It's planar.
It's what?
Planar.
It measures flat, dude.
Damn it, bro.
So you seem to think, for some reason, this magical gravity that you've had a story attached to is your
Bro, I
be-all, end-all savior.
I don't
Yeah,
have any
that's yeah.
reasons.
Why?
I don't
Yeah.
have any
Thanks for just
reasons, bro.
jumping in, bro.
I don't
You
have
don't
any
have it. We know.
I don't have any reasons. But I think
We
Earth
know.
is sphere, not a flat surface, you know. If you think that Earth is a flat, then it's good for you because I don't agree with you.
So this is what we're trying to get out of you. You don't agree with us.
Okay.
Why?
Give me three reasons. Give me three reasons.
No. You're the one that doesn't agree with us. I agree with the other people in here. It's measured as flat. I've got no issues with that. You're the one
So you
saying it's
don't
something else. What is your
so you
reasoning for saying that?
so you don't agree with me that Earth is a flat surface. Earth has a spare surface.
No, I don't agree with you. Because the Earth has been measured multiple times by many different people. And they don't come back with measured drop over distance.
Who are those people who measure it?
Oh, let's just post a few up in the side chat for you so you can watch too.
I don't want to watch. Just tell me.
You don't want to watch, so you don't want to learn. Oh, suit yourself.
I wanna hear you from that.
Well, I'll save you time listening to me. In the side chat, a couple of laser tests for you to look at.
Bro, there are tons of video.
Yeah, that's right. Pick one.
Do you think these all are real or true?
Well, this is the beauty of it. You can go and do these tests yourself, and you can confirm whether they're real or not real.
So do you think that our Earth crust and core is in a flat surface?
Your Earth crust and core, are you still assuming you're on a ball? There's no measured curvature.
No.
I don't want to. I don't want to be.
I ain't
Atal,
assuming.
listen carefully. I don't want to sound rude, but you
Go
can't
on.
have a sphere if there's no bloody curvature. I'm sorry, bro. It just doesn't work.
Bro, so what I'm asking from you, do you think that our Earth crust and core is in a flat surface? Yes or no type question. God damn it. Why are you arguing?
What core? What core? Where are you getting a core from?
Haven't you heard about in your damn life that about our Earth crust and core?
That is all a part of the heliocentric model. We've already established there's no curvature. So the whole ball theory is out the window. So
Yeah,
you've
it's
got to
just
start
a
from
story.
scratch.
Oh.
Earth still ain't flat.
Well, it ain't a bloody sphere because we've measured it. No curvature, no sphere. Done.
Listen, bro.
You can talk all day long. It still ain't going to
Listen,
make it a
listen.
sphere.
if listen, suppose I'm standing in a flat ground, okay, okay, and if you say that Earth is a flat surface, why the hell I see sky upward direction? Upward direction. Why I can't able to see it in front of me if it is flat?
Why you can't see the sky in front of you if it is flat?
Yeah, bro.
You can. You just look forward.
Oh man, where do I
Like
start
if
with
you go
that?
to the beach, and you look forward, you can see the sky.
Bro, you are able to say here only because many of people are here who are present here thinks that Earth is flat. There is no one who thinks that Earth is sphere. If there is, then talk, bro. God damn it.
We all
Okay.
used to think the Earth was a sphere, and then we came here, and they showed us the measurements. Right? They showed us
What
the
made you
real
believe?
world tests, and then
What
how
made
can
you
you
believe
deny?
that
How can
Earth
you
is a flat
deny?
surface?
How can you
Yeah,
deny a
What made you
real
believe,
world
bro?
test?
yeah, you gotta
Oh.
listen.
Haven't you ever seen that NASA's
Hey, buddy.
picture?
Yeah, but you can't verify the NASA pictures, dude. We can invalidate
Bro,
them by checking the surface of the Earth. If we measure the surface of the Earth and it's not curving like in NASA's pictures, then maybe NASA's pictures are fake.
okay, so you are saying NASA is fake, right?
Yeah, NASA faked the Apollo missions. I don't know if you were aware of that, but they didn't actually go to the moon.
Okay, buddy, what can I say anymore?
Yeah, most people agree with that these days because if you look at the footage, it looks obviously fake, right? Not as fake as the India moon landing footage, but it looks pretty damn fake.
Who is the first guy who is talking to me before?
He's opted for
Where
you,
is it?
Matrix.
Which one?
Is it is it Jamsey or who is it? Who is the one who is talking with me before this guy?
Before which guy? Before me?
Okay, I got you. You are the one. You are the one. You are the one.
Yeah, that group probably stepped
You're
Bro,
on.
the
bro,
one.
bro. Listen to second guy. Do you also think that NASA is fake?
Yeah.
That NASA is fake. Yes,
Okay,
most
so
definitely.
all here who are present here thinks that NASA is fake.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's obvious, dude. It's obvious.
Bro, you are just saying that a multi kind of like a big company who is
Lying about
exploring the
space.
space,
Yeah,
exploring the
they're lying
space
about space.
over 10 years, and you are saying that they are fake, right?
Yes.
No,
Yes. How many times I mean,
well,
So
yeah,
just
we're saying that. Look, buddy, if you want to have faith in NASA, then that's up to you. But it's only ever going to be faith because you can't verify their imagery.
bro,
You
but
can't
world
verify it.
believe on
You
them.
just have to
World
trust it.
world believes on them, but why not you?
We have tested it. We've tested the Earth. Have you tested the Earth? I don't think so. We all have. You're the only one in here that hasn't tested the Earth.
or even looked at
That's
the
why
test.
the only reason you still think it's a globe is because you didn't go out and check. We all went and checked, and now we know it's not a globe. But you didn't do that yet. So hopefully you can go and check, and then you can be on the team that knows.
Ain't no brand new Jordans on. I've been had these shoes. I've been had these shoes. Yes, I did. These are the last shoes I had before I got the other one.
Hey, regular Joe, you're hot miking, I think.
Yeah, I don't think shoes are going to prove how flat it is.
You can only have shoes on a flat Earth anyway.
Okay, so what happened when sunset arrives?
The sun.
What happens to the sun when we saw a sunset? Is it going to down to
It's
a flat
yeah.
surface or what? Bro,
No, no,
is
no. It's
speak,
just
speak.
moving over. It's moving over the surface of the Earth. Okay, and because of the way your perspective works, it looks like it's going down. It converges with the horizon. You know what linear
Bro,
perspective is? Linear perspective. Have you heard of it?
nah, bro, I don't have it. But think logically, bro. How is it even possible to see a sunset in a flat surface? Is it just going down, down, and what? It is just
Okay,
impossible
so
in.
you know how it looks like things go down in the distance because of perspective. Like if you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
standing in a hallway, if you're standing in a hallway, it looks like the roof goes down and it looks like the floor goes up and they converge into a vanishing point. That's what the horizon is. The horizon is a vanishing point where things converge into and you can no longer resolve them anymore because of the way your eyes work. So
What?
even if the sun is not changing height, it looks like it's going down and it looks like it converges with the horizon because we don't
And what
claim the
about
sun is
southern
we
hemisphere,
don't
bro? What
what's that?
about southern hemisphere flights?
Yeah, there's no hemispheres. You need a sphere for that.
Bro,
There's just
explain how a
it's just
bro. Just explain how a directly flight from kind of hemisphere flights. You ever heard it?
yeah. Hemisphere, that's two sides of a sphere. Right? We don't that
So how
doesn't
is it
exist
possible?
in it's
How
not
is
it
it
doesn't
even
happen.
possible in a flat
It's
surface,
not
bro? God
it,
damn it.
it it's not possible and it's not something that we have in reality. It just exists in your imagination and in cartoons. In reality, we live on a flat plane. The sun
Okay, you.
moves
So
over
you
the
are saying
surface of
that hemisphere is fake, right? It is just an
yeah.
imagination, right?
Yeah. It's part of a globe, right? If you believe there's a globe, then you think that there's two hemispheres. But that doesn't exist in reality because there's no curvature over the surface of the earth.
So are you the one who is saving from the direct sun rays which are coming towards us from the sun?
What about the sun rays?
Are you the one who is saving from skin cancer or many kind of diseases which we can get from direct rays from the sun coming toward us? Isn't it the
What does that
hemisphere?
what does skin cancer have to do with the globe? You think you can only get skin
Because,
cancer on a globe? Do you think you can
because
only get
bro,
skin
bro,
cancer on
bro,
a globe?
The real
Was that what
you
question
you
is,
have
what do you
claimed?
think about 6-7?
Nobody
Yeah,
said that
I
the
don't think he was
sun.
inferring that. I think he was just asking, like, out of curiosity. I don't even think he was inferring that.
Oh, okay, it's a weird question.
Yeah, it is weird, but listening to the way he asked it, that's the way he asked it. He was like, I don't know why he asked.
You want to? Would you want to answer it for him?
Actually, yeah. So it's kind of hard to say because, like, I read in a book written by a nutritional practitioner years ago that you're more likely to get skin cancer if you have a job that's indoors as opposed to a job that's outdoors. But yet, at the same time, ultraviolet light, as far as I know, does cause that. So it's kind of it's a gray zone. Like it's there's a lot of things about the human body we don't know quite yet. That's what I'd say, or are confused about.
bro,
Does
You know,
that
like
skin
answer the
cancer.
question?
Skin
there are
cancer
some
is just a
medicines
part
we
of
take
it.
that are.
Skin cancer is just a part of it. There are tons of things that can happen if there is no hemisphere over there. What about plants? What about our food? What about weeds, etc.?
What are you talking about, dude? The sun
Bro,
is
you are
above the surface of the
no,
earth.
bro.
Okay, the sun.
You are saying, bro. You are
naked.
saying that there is no hemisphere. So if there is no hemisphere, why are we not feeling direct rays which are coming towards us from the sun?
How would a hemisphere change the way that you get the sunlight?
How are you
You know,
linking
what do you
these
think a
things random
hemisphere is, by the
together?
way?
I think you haven't you didn't study physics.
I think you're a
Oh,
skip a
really?
step earther.
Bro,
I think I probably know a
what
lot more
what
about the
what
globe
what,
than you do.
what about our refracting index, which is created from our hemispheres parts?
The refractive index is created from the
What do you think a
hemisphere.
refractive index?
Oh yeah, God.
Guys, I have a question.
Go for it, mate.
There's some arguments that are made by the flat Earth community regarding internet cables and flying patterns, flying maps of the airplanes.
Let's start off with the internet cables. What is the problem with internet cables?
I wouldn't say there. I can say there's a problem. I just think that I just see the argument being made that the cables itself shouldn't make sense in the spherical Earth and would make much more sense in the flat Earth, as well as some flights such as
No,
Sydney
just stick with the
to
internet cables. How can you compare flights to cables that are running under the water? You seem to have jumped onto the back end of half of an argument. A lot of the globers will come in here and say, satellites, satellites, satellites. When you go and do some research, you'll find out that something like 98% of our data gets sent via undersea cables. So we don't disagree with undersea cables. There's no problem with them at all. That's actually well documented that have been laid. Miles and miles and miles of this stuff has been laid. So I don't think anyone in here would have any complaints or contentions with undersea cables, my friend.
Bro, I have a question for you.
How about you just hold on for a second because you are really struggling, and we'll let Arthur ask his questions. So his second one was something to do with flights. What was that one, mate?
Both the internet cables and the flight maps are basically the round sphere should happen in a way, but the flat Earth map makes much more sense. I just was asking if you were familiar with that argument.
What do you
You should
refer
understand
to
there's
as
no
a
flat
flat Earth
map.
map?
There's no flat Earth map.
No.
So we don't have a map.
Well,
Like
let me elaborate a little bit. There's
United
no
Nations.
map that we have that we can independently verify all the distances from one place to another. So, like, knowing for sure that a map is accurate is something that's out of reach, I think, for most people. You know, like, are you really going to pull a tape measure between here and China and make sure that X, Y, or Z maps are accurate as far as the distance between the western seaboard and China?
Yeah, true. So the United Nations map, the United Nations logo is not an actual representation of what could be the flat Earth map, let's say. Or if you take the spherical map by Antarctica and pull it out in a table, it wouldn't work like that with Antarctica around. This map that Shalom sent
Look,
in the
that
chat.
map that you're talking about, it's actually just like a stretched out globe, right? Like if you stretched out a globe and you stretched out the southern hemisphere, it's like a flattened out globe. It's just a spherical coordinate system projection. There's hundreds and hundreds of different spherical coordinate system projections, and the spherical coordinate system is actually based off the sky. So maps are useful tools, right? Extremely useful tools, but you shouldn't mistake the map for the territory. Maybe you've heard that term before. All maps are wrong, right? If you go to YouTube and you type in all maps are wrong, you're going to see a lot of videos where people explain why all maps are actually wrong. Okay, all maps have distortions. There's all sorts of problems with maps, but they're useful tools for specific things. Right? So while we don't have a perfect map, that's because nobody has a perfect map, and nobody has. It's not an easy task to go and map the entire surface or the known area of the Earth into a perfect map, because we have vast oceans, and it would cost many billions of dollars. But sure, I mean, I could grant you that it could be something along the lines of the AE map, right? The map that you're talking about. Maybe. We don't know for sure.